Show. This is the Big O 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 Show.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths. In South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show's coverage of the NBA Summer League is brought to you by RedRecover.com. Learn more about red light therapy with videos, blog posts, and 40 years of medical research to treat pain, inflammation, and overall well-being. LiquorSplit.com, Miami's own online liquor store. Download it on iOS or Android apps. Get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split. Craig's in Acura of Pembroke Pines. The #1 volume Acura dealership in the Southeast United States 12 years in a row. Welcome to the Slomans.com NBA Summer League coverage, live from Las Vegas. Slomans Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Here's your host, Big O.
All righty. Good morning, boys and girls. Yes, sir. We are ready to rock and roll on a bright and early Monday morning. Although I got to tell you, it was I woke up at 2 a.m. today, accidentally. I don't know why, but the alarm was set at 2 a.m., not 5 a.m. And so I get up and I walk over here and I sit down and I go, man, it's kind of dark. And I look at my watch, it says 2 a.m. I'm like, oh, no. And it's one of those, you get dressed and everything, so you kind of like wake up, and then I go back to sleep again. Was a bitch, man. It was just one of those that was tough, man. That was tough. But we took like an hour, and then I went back and took a nap for a couple hours and then got back up again. So we are here. We're ready to rock and roll this morning. And I'm still waiting for Budget to call me back, by the way. I'm still waiting, by the way. Yeah, that was interesting. Yesterday I'm driving right now. Completely, you're in a rent-a-car, you didn't even think about it. It's a new car. Like I'm driving a Kia Sportage, which by the way, not a bad car. It's a nice car. And so I ran out of gas. I'm an idiot. And so I call Budget because that's where I rented it from Budget. And they said, well, we'll send you a text when the driver is out. He'll tell you how far he is out and he'll give you, an update. I'm still waiting for the text. Like a half hour after I called, like I didn't get a text. So I called a local company and somebody to bring me like a gallon of gas. Cost me like $75. It's the most expensive gallon of gas in my life. But when you're in the middle of a you're in the middle of an intersection and there's cars going in both directions. It's about 107 degrees. You don't really want to hang around very long. You know what I'm saying? You never know. A Raider wide receiver may run into you, if you're in the middle of the street there in Vegas. So you got to watch out for that. So it's just one of those things. But yeah, by the way, budget, way to go. You guys absolutely suck when it comes to your customers. Nice job. Never called back the customer to find out if you're all right. You send roadside service and you never answer. That's really good, Budget Rent-A-Car. Way to go, Budget Rent-A-Car. Now I know not to rent from you ever again. That was nice. Way to go, Budget. You guys royally suck. That is a really nice job by Budget. Anyway, but outside of that, it's been a great trip. We had a good time on Saturday over at the Heat game against the Celtics. They took care of business against the Celtics. Today they will practice. They were off yesterday. Today they'll practice. We'll be out at covering practice today in the afternoon. Then tomorrow we'll be at the game. It's 7 o'clock your time, 7 p.m. They'll be taking on Atlanta, 7 o'clock, 4 o'clock our time. So we get it a little earlier. So we'll be out there at and by the way, anybody that tells you that basketball doesn't matter in the offseason, come on out to Vegas. 2 arenas packed with fans all day, all night. It's pretty impressive. When you get here, you realize, and let me tell you something. I say this all the time and I say this, and you're going to see this also because you're seeing it right now, Sean. But I tell you every year, about the Senior Bowl and how cool of an event it is. And then the other thing that while you're walking around, you'll run into players. You'll run into future NFL stars there at the Senior Bowl, right? And it's really cool if you're one of those folks that likes to get your autographs or pictures or whatever like that. You have opportunities meeting these guys while they're preparing all week long and going from one event to another, meetings, whatever. And they are amongst the folks. Well, guess what? Here in Vegas, you're at the Summer League games here in either arena. There are NFL players, NBA players walking all over the place. Young NBA players, current NBA players, retired NBA players, all of that stuff. Just walking in and out, and you can see, and fans are, saying hi to them and asking for autographs and pictures and stuff like that. So it's actually really cool because you get an opportunity to kind of see a lot of the people all around the league right here. So and you're in Vegas. It doesn't beat that. So it's actually a really cool experience. And you get to see some of the young guys, which nowadays it matters. I'm sitting there and I'm watching Jovic play. I'm watching Marcus Garrett, Michael Mulder. I like the Mulder kid, man. Fox Mulder can shoot. I know he's had his inconsistencies. But that kid's got talent, man. He's got some skill sets. Highsmith, a physical player. I like Highsmith too. The Jamari Bouye kid, he's 6'2". They got a lot of small guards. Orlando Robinson, love the moxie, the confidence that kid plays with already. Javonte Smart is another guy you all know out there. So there's some guys in this team that are, kind of interesting in the Summer League to watch. But again, this is my first Summer League experience. I know it's your first too. And I would definitely, if you're a basketball fan and all that, and it's so cool because there's NBA fans from all over the world coming and all over the United States coming over here. It's really cool. I was sitting next to a Celtic fan that was going nuts. And throughout the Heat game, you could hear the chants, "Let's go Heat," from the stands, from the different fans and all that stuff. So it's there. It's there. It's a really cool event. And I think it's something that if you have an opportunity, hell, you get to go watch the games and hang out in Vegas and go do all kinds of stuff. Just stay indoors. That's all I got to say. I mean, this whole walking the strip, no, no. We'll do that in December when we're here, November, October. We'll walk the strip on those nights because it's nice. It's 40, 50, 60 degrees. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I mean, it's all week. It's 103, 107, 113, 109, 110. Right, yeah. 95 degrees at 2 a.m. last night. 95 degrees at 2 a.m. I mean, it is hot, bro. Hot. Like your AC doesn't kick in till wherever you get to. And then you're like, wow, it just started getting cool in here. Because that's how hot it gets in your car. It is nasty, man. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Anyway, we're having a good time out here. Little summer league action, enjoying the games and enjoying practice. And I enjoyed a little Morrissey. I saw Morrissey 3 times in a span of 4 days, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yes, 4 days. Because Saturday was the last concert. So I saw him 3 times in 4 days. Amazing, amazing experience. And he changed up the last day and did 5 different songs in the last day, including Suede Head, which he didn't do the first night. He did it the second night and the third night. We knew we were up for something special on Saturday night when he started the concert with How Soon Is Now, which is what they were closing with. He was closing on Wednesday. On Friday, he closed with How Soon Is Now, which is what you figure that, that's a song that everybody knows. And, that's like the quintessential, Smith song, because that's what the average fan knows. Even if you don't know the Smiths, you know How Soon Is Now. And, it was the theme song for Charmed and all that kind of stuff. They stole that from there. So that one, but when they started with that, we were like, "Whoa, this is going to be amazing," and it was one hell of an experience. I was blessed to have 3 nights in the pit, of course, because I'm a snob, to enjoy Morrissey. That was really, 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 really freaking cool, man. So I enjoyed that. That was good. We're gonna have Ira Winderman on at 10:30. So we'll have a little fun with Ira at 11:30. Alan Poupar will join us at 12:30. Marcel Louis Jacques will stop by. So that is the list of insiders joining us today on the program. So we'll have a good time. Nyborg says, Big O, look at the bright side with the rent-a-car. You could have rented from Hertz. They get busted and falsely accused of stealing a car you didn't steal. Yeah. By the way, it's Hertz/Budget. It's the same company. So, because they ask you, okay, is it a Hertz car? Is it a Budget car? And so it's the same company for the same service and all that stuff. So I would have gotten screwed either way. I would have still been waiting for the call from Hertz. It's just so poor, man. Really poor. Steve Chapman, I see, is in the house first. Jamie Zorria checking in from San Jose. And he reminds everybody, that's right, smash the hell out of that like button, please. Ian from Brooklyn is in. He's checking in. Jose Banos is in. NorCal says good morning out there. And he's out in the West Coast, too. So he's early like we are. Good morning, everybody out there, says Steven Gonzalez. Rosendo is in, wishing everybody a very nice day and a beautiful week ahead. Big Dan 305, Dizzy 911, Too Extreme, Gus 1388, Eddie Lepp, JG Long, Brooklyn Rob, Kyle Cockrell says, good morning to all tuning in from Española, New Mexico. Let's see. Nyborg, Heat Fins, Nizzle, Alex Palenzuela. You and Sean better go see Lake Mead before it disappears. Yeah, we went the last time we were here. Remember, we were here, what was it, 2 months ago? May? So yeah, 2 months. Yeah, because of the draft. That's right. It was late April. So May, June, and we're in July. So a little over 2 months ago, we were here in Vegas and we saw Lake Mead, And yeah, man, it's bad, man. It's so bad. It's getting to the point pretty close now where the generators will shut down and they won't be able to produce electricity. Here's my crazy thought. Okay? Because I'm just a big mouth idiot behind a mic every single day here. Okay? Because I'm not a smart guy. Far from that. Okay? Maybe I'll consider myself a hard worker, but I'm not a smart guy by any stretch. Last time I checked, we ran the Alaskan pipeline, right? That's a long ass pipeline that goes miles and miles and miles for oil, correct? So here's my idea. Why aren't we pumping out ocean water? Why don't we just have a big old pipeline that goes over to the Colorado River and it gets filtered right out of the ocean, goes all the way down to the river, and then a second filter, and then it's all fresh water. It's clean, sent right in to the river. We got plenty of ocean, right? Last time I checked, the icebergs are melting, correct? Tides are rising, correct? Why not if we can build a pipeline for oil, water might be just as valuable or maybe even more valuable. So I don't know, what the hell? Build a pipeline for that. Start pumping in water that way. I mean, it's not like we can't come up with filters to clean the damn water and make it normal water. Just take out the salt. Hell, then you can use the salt for something else. Give it to Morton's. They'll package it and sell it. I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of water. Do we have to watch the whole damn lake disappear? And then the southwest corner, is there something there? See, like a pumping super salty water back into the ocean can harm local. No, but you clean it. You filter it out. You make it normal water. Let's see. What do we have here? Brooklyn says, because to seawater and build a pipeline is very expensive, and there's more profit in oil than water. Yeah, but we will die without water. We can live without oil. We can come up with, other ways of energy, like we're doing already now with electric cars. But, I mean, who cares what money it costs? Pump it, dude. Get it done. I mean, who cares? It's worth it. We spend more money on garbage than we do for something like this. So I get it's not going to be cheap, but the results are going to be priceless, right? Because we're going to be able to provide. And remember that the Hoover Dam provides electricity for 4 to 5 states, I think it is, in that southwest corner of the country. So we're talking about millions of people are going to lose that power plant soon. So once they lose that becomes a major problem overall. I'm just saying, not that you would be able to build that pipeline, by the way, in a day or a week or a month or half a year or something. It would take a long time, but I'm just saying, if got to do something, just watching it disappear. It's crazy. And you know what's the worst part about it also? I guess I delve too much into all these kind of things. They also, you buy land in Nevada and other places in the Southwest, and since you own that land, you can start digging. And so people are now digging for their own water wells. And so now they're drying up the water wells underneath. So that's becoming a problem too, because they need it for irrigation, for their farming, and all that kind of stuff. So that's another problem out here in the Southwest. And this is a major, major problem for them out here. It really is. Again, I'm not smart, so I don't know. Maybe you can't do that or whatever, but I would figure that can be filtered and then put in fresh water in there and balance it out. Nico says, I can't agree with you more. All we do is fight over climate change instead of adapting to it as humans. We've built dams, opened up massive canals to adapt and survive, right? I'm just saying, We got to do all kinds of stuff. We spend a lot of money on all kinds of other things. That desalting is money, but it's not bad. It's not bad. IMO. People are greedy and short sighted. Yeah. Well, you would put people to work, right? Because they got to build the pipeline. You put people to work because they've got to work the power plants to work that pipeline from one end to another. You've got to put people to work because they've got to then desalt the water, right? So, I don't know. I'm just saying it's crazy. It's crazy. But you feel for these people out here, man, what's going on with Lake Mead. Oof. You can go on YouTube and check out the videos, and there are guys that are tracking the shrinkage of Lake Mead. And it'll freak you out, by the way. You should, for those of you that have never seen it, you should go see the videos of the before and after with Lake Mead. It'll blow you away on how much. I mean, it's lost like, I don't know, 60% of its water. It's crazy the amount of water that it's lost. It's really scary. But anyway, let's see. The two guys that use water to fuel cars were killed. One day the space will run out to the stars. Yes, sir. Well, that's going to happen eventually, of course. And, we'll find another planet to go inhabit after we screw this one up, because that's what we do, right? You know what I mean? So remember that, what's the name of that movie where they're all getting into those big ass boats because the whole place is flooding and oh God. But you almost feel like eventually we're going to end up in that predicament. You know what I'm saying? And then the lucky few will get out of Earth. It'll be a lot of us will be dead and gone by then. But you kind of feel for our kids or our kids of how bad it's going to be. I mean, I think about it here. All week it's 103, 106, 109, 113, 110. How's it going to be 40 years from now, 50 years from now here? I mean, are you kidding me? It's going to be 120. Oh, 2012. That's it. That's the movie, 2012. That's the one with yeah, what's this guy's name? The 80s guy. Oh man, the guy with holding Say Anything. What's his name? He's in it, yes. Cusack, yeah, that's it. Cusack. Yep, exactly. Yeah, they're all in it. Yeah, Woody Harrelson's the crazy guy. Crazy guy, yeah. I always watch, that's one of those movies I stopped to watch because I love the effects of all the destruction and everything. And I love all of that. It's so fun to watch because they do a great job with that. Tom says, geographically, the easiest path to the pipeline is from the Gulf of California right up to the riverbank to Lake Mead, just like the pipeline that brings the water to Key West. Well, there you go. It can be done. It's just a matter of us making the commitment. I mean, eventually we're going to have to do something, right? You're just not going to let the lake's going to completely dry out. You can't do that. You're going to have to do something. Actually, the lake will dry out because that pipe will take forever to build. Rafael Pineda says, Big O, I always wanted to ask you this. Do you like Rage Against the Machine? They started their tour there after 11 years and sounded incredible. Big fan of the show. Thank you, my brother. I saw Rage Against the Machine open up for U2 at the LA Coliseum in 97. I'm sorry. 97. I was going to say 87. 97. 87 was Joshua Tree probably. And Orange Bowl and the Sombrero, I think. It's probably 87 Joshua Tree, but 97. And by the way, those are two of my favorite shows because I see U2 and Oasis at the Oakland Coliseum in 97. And the next night, I go to LA to see U2, and it's Rage Against the Machine opening up. And I'll tell you this. I have grown to appreciate Rage Against the Machine more. I'm a huge Tom Morello fan, but the music it's all right. It's good. It's not, I'm not a freak of Rage Against the Machine, to be quite honest. But they do a good job overall. I love Morello's guitar playing, but when we talk about the music and singing and all that, you know, it's all right. I appreciate it a little bit more because of Tom, but it's not one of those bands that I'm, oh my God, I got to go see Rage Against the Machine or anything like that. I did enjoy the concert. I think the guy was dropping an F-bomb every other word, and it was fun because obviously being at the LA Coliseum, getting to see a concert at the LA Coliseum is actually a cool thing. So there you go. But I have seen Rage Against the Machine. Or we can be headed to Waterworld, Kevin Costner classic. There you go. That was a terrible movie. Yeah. D. Wade has not completed his mission to Utah. What shall his penalty be? Are you talking about bringing Donovan Mitchell here? You know, it's interesting. And we're going to talk to Ira Winderman coming up at the bottom of the hour. And one of the things that developed over the last couple of days, you know, last time we talked to Ira, I wasn't very hopeful about the Heat making a big move. And by the way, I still am not very hopeful about the Heat making the move now. I don't think anything's going to happen. I don't think they have the firepower to make it happen now. Notice. But hearing that Bradley Beal got the fifth-year option and that he has a no-trade clause also on that, so he gets to control where he goes. And I think Washington had to give him that. I mean, a lot of the young players get it anyway, but Washington had to give it to him because he's shown loyalty. So you better show loyalty to him too. And so that's a bright spot. And then Donovan Mitchell also has a no trade clause. And so now this gives me hope because you're not winning in Utah. So I'm not worried about that. You know what I mean? So you're done there. So eventually Donovan Mitchell's going to have to run out of time and say, I want out. And Bradley Beal, you're not going to win in Washington either. So maybe a year in Loserville more, and he has his money already. They both have their money. They got their max deals. Then they can get traded. So maybe, you know, next offseason, maybe that's the offseason after these two guys have gone through another terrible year or another year that they see that there's no light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? I mean, just go ask Karl Malone, my brother. Your teams aren't even close to those teams, and they didn't win a title. So I now have some hope, but it's a year from now. And where is Jimmy then a year from now? Where is Kyle Lowry a year from now? And that's the dilemma and the problem, that there might be a bright side to it, but then there's a dark side to it. And that's the sad part about that one. So at first I saw that and I said, maybe Ira has something there. And then I started to think about it. I said, but this kind of takes away from that because the uncertainty kind of leaves me in a position that I don't know even if you make the move anymore, what's it going to do? Because then now you're waiting for other contracts to expire to then build around the guy again. And so then he's now getting old, you know, in front of your eyes, the guy you just acquired. So it's a dilemma. And we'll talk to Ira about this coming up. And so that's why, in a way, the lack of hope I have now early on kind of taints the hope that could develop down the line too because of that scenario. All right, 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. You can reach out to us on email at bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Remember, if your company wants to join our platform and get great exposure locally, statewide, nationwide, even internationally, please reach out to our business line at 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. That is not a request line. That's not there to talk any sports. That's only for sales. That's only for sponsorship. So please, business lines are waiting. So there you go. 786-754-4664. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. You're listening to the Sloman's coverage of the NBA Summer League right here on the Big O Radio Show.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
All righty, Ira, how you doing, my friend? Good morning.
Bright and early, good to go, and then off to Heat practice. The Big O Show waits for no one, neither does the time zone change.
No, it does not, sir. Because life doesn't wait for anybody. If you wait for it, it runs your ass over. So you got to attack it. If not, you're done. All right. So we had a discussion last week, and I told you that I was not very positive about the Heat making a big splash move, whether it's Donovan, whether it's Bradley, whoever. And so developments over the last couple of days still give me no hope in the near term, but give me some hope in the long term. But the long term also has a downside to it. And let me explain. So the last couple of days, we find out that Donovan Mitchell has a no-trade clause. So he controls his destiny. We find out that Bradley Beal also has a no-trade clause, which is a good thing. Now, it's not good early on because both are happy. They got their money. They're not probably going anywhere now at this point. But a year from now, they might decide after another year in Utah, yeah, we're not going anywhere. We're never going to win something. I need to get out. I got my money. Bradley Beal, another year in Loserville. We're never going to win. Maybe. But here's my problem with all of that, Ira. A year from now, where is Jimmy Butler after another year of wear and tear? Where is he in July 11th of 2023 at that point when Bradley Beal, when Donovan Mitchell may be a little bitter about their current existence? Where's Kyle Lowry at this point? So now if you are able to acquire that whale in 2023's summer, now we're wondering where are your lead guys? And if those guys are getting old or breaking down, then you're going to find yourself waiting for these contracts to expire to then build around, i.e. Bradley Beal or Donovan Mitchell. So walk me off the ledge.
I'll walk you off the ledge for this reason. You're talking to me about next summer. I'm saying
I have no hope for this summer. That's why I'm saying.
Well, you know what? There's a difference. I guess technically, if you're saying summer ends September 21st, I might agree. However, I don't think it'll take an entire season for Donovan Mitchell to appreciate the direction the Jazz are going or not going. And I'll tell you why, Big O. When they made the Rudy Gobert trade, they did not trade Rudy Gobert for an immediate asset. God bless Patrick Beverley and all the pieces they got. They got draft choices. They got a boatload of draft choices. If I'm Donovan Mitchell and they don't reflip those draft choices in July or August or ahead of the season, I'm realizing, just like you mentioned with the other guys, it could be a waste of a year for him as his team waits to cash in.
Well, who do you expect them to flip it for? Who's available? Who should they be getting?
Once you have packages, there's always something.
But tell me who they should be targeting right now. That's available out there. That is
obviously a sign and trade with DeAndre Ayton would be a place to start to replace your center with a more offensive-minded center. You can go in a direction like that. There are always options. What I'm saying is this: Donovan Mitchell
is he really offensive enough?
Compared to Rudy Gobert, he is.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's like, come on, dude. That's.
So what I'm saying is this: Donovan Mitchell has a new coach in a new situation. He might realize come September, this isn't for me. This isn't what I signed up for. I signed up for Quinn Snyder. I signed up for a team that was going to compete every single season because that really has been the Jazz's MO, even when they weren't a championship team. So you have that. So I could see him waiting for a while, but not too long. Big O, the same thing. I think someone like Bradley Beal, if his team gets off to a 1-9 start, a 2-14 start, it's not going to take till July. It's going to take till November. So when you said something about the players having a no trade clause, I'm fine with that because those two guys have dictated the terms all along.
Right.
If the team had the no trade clause,
then we're
we don't
screwed,
have to trade you for something of which there is no such thing, that would be a little bit different. Big O, again, let's not just settle our focus on those two players. Situations happen and you have to be ready to pounce. I mentioned to you this Friday on our Accurate Pembroke Pines report, even someone like Joel Embiid, who gets very anxious and is very social media conscious. If this doesn't work, if James Harden shows up out of shape, if he isn't the player they thought, and all of a sudden Philadelphia goes sideways, you talk about lack of patience. All of a sudden, the Joel Embiid or someone like that could wind up in that situation also. So I think when you look at the league right now, there will be options, Big O. And it doesn't have to be a year from now. It could be a month or 2 or 3 months. I have never seen Heat Nation this anxious in July. It's remarkable.
Well, because I think Heat Nation is anxious, and I think I'm anxious because
you're always anxious.
That's true. That's true. But the window's closing, and that's why I'm anxious because I don't want to wait till next year to make that move. In fact, I think you've waited too long already. If you're Pat Riley, you have allowed 3 years of Jimmy Butler's career to play out. And you have milked it because you got to a final and you got to an Eastern Conference final. But I know what Pat Riley wants is what we all want, is a title. And the sands of the hourglass they're happening right now. And that's what I'm worried about, that time isn't on your side, no matter what the Rolling Stones tell you. And that's my problem, why I don't want to wait, because I don't think the Heat can afford to wait.
And Big O, I want to walk you through a few things here, and we'll build as we go here.
Mm-hmm.
I agree that external change is sexy. It's exciting. It's reviving. I get all of that. Without you going off on one of your tangents here a little bit, let's just go step by step.
Mm-hmm.
We both can agree that Kyle Lowry will be in better shape this season because he has to be, correct?
I mean, he's a professional. He
will be. He probably won't have the same family emergency taking him away 30 games. You'll probably get more out of him.
Okay.
We both agree that Tyler Hero has been pretty good. Last year was a 6th Man of the Year award season.
Terrific.
In 2020 in the bubble, basically beat the Celtics himself, and then had a really crap-tastic postseason when he was injured. He might not be as good as he was during the regular season last year, but he certainly will not be as awful as he was during the playoffs. Would you agree with that?
He was
okay,
hurt.
so you're talking improvement there. Your favorite person in the world, who you rail about every weekend I can see, you would agree that Bam Adebayo has to take another step, correct?
I don't think he can.
Okay. So I
don't believe he's wired that way.
That's a little even stance. And what I'm telling you also about Jimmy Butler is this. You can talk about Jimmy Butler going from 31 to 32 to 33. But Big O, in his 3 seasons with the Heat, he's gotten the Heat to the NBA Finals. He's gotten the Heat within one of his shots to the Eastern Conference Finals. Jimmy Butler has not stepped back. He had a very, very good regular season last year.
That's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the wear and tear on that body, and he does break down a lot. It's going to only get worse as the age builds. You know that, and I know that.
But I'm just saying, in the short term right now, the Heat are still positioned. They're probably still a piece away, and it might have been just a retaining of PJ Tucker or something like that. The one thing I'll agree with, the Heat have lost something this offseason, and they haven't replaced it yet. There still are options out there right now. They could still go to the full mid-level and offer another $4 million contract. They could still use the biannual exception and offer a $4 million contract. They still have, matter of fact, more than anything, and I can go through this with you. The ultimate Miami Heat chip is this: Duncan Robinson's $18 million contract. It gets you in the door salary-wise. Then you get to the ancillary pieces, 2 draft choices, Tyler Hero, Yurtseven, Strus, Vincent, you work all those other pieces. I'm glad the Miami Heat is not rushing out on July 11th and saying, all our chips to the middle of the table because we got a pair of kings and we feel pretty good. The patience is hard, but patience is also right. This team has done a lot of very good work over the years. Please go back and read my story in the Sun Sentinel in August and September. Sometimes you have to be patient. There's a reason the entire NBA personnel market has dead stopped. Before you and I got out here to Vegas, it was crazy. It was crazy time. Everyone was signing.
Right.
And then crickets. And then after that Saturday of free agency, we've basically gone a week with almost nothing. Whether it's DeAndre Ayton getting his deal, what's going to happen with Miles Bridges, we don't know. Some other free agents out there. And the reason is, just like a few times LeBron James stalled the market, just like once Kawhi Leonard stalled the market, right now Kevin Durant and the Nets are stalling the market. You and I was sitting there the other day. Sean Marks was sitting a few rows below us. He's getting all his offers. The market is stalled right now, but you don't make a panic move. That's what bothers me.
Oh no,
But
hold on a second. I'm not talking about a panic move. I'm talking about a star. A panic move is not Donovan Mitchell and Bradley Beal or something like that. That's not a panic move. That's what because you're saying they need another piece. I say they need another star because Jimmy needs a star next to him. I love improving from within, and that's a nice thought. But I don't expect Bam to become the offensive powerhouse that Jimmy needs next to him. Tyler is the one guy that has that opportunity to become that guy. Can he become that guy? Well, then we've got to see because he does have the moxie to turn that light on and just become an offensive guy because he can get his shot at anywhere he wants. So
Orlando Alzagari, who is light years ahead of the Heat in the Eastern Conference right now? What team are you putting up to me and saying, Ira, my God, the Heat are way behind Team X? Who is Team X?
Well, right now I would say they're not better than the Milwaukee Bucks.
But I'm saying who's light years ahead?
Nobody's light.
That's what I'm saying. They're still within touch of the pack.
Yeah, but within touch means you need that one star to put you over the top. Look, I'm watching Atlanta get better.
Right.
Now they're not. Now I still won't say that they're better than the Heat, but I've watched them get better now. You know what I'm saying? So Philadelphia also, got better. They should, and Embiid will be healthy next year. Embiid dominated
for a while, and then he'll be unhealthy again.
Okay, but he was unhealthy during the playoffs, and he dominated the Heat. If that guy's playing with a healthy hand and a healthy face, I don't know if the Heat even survive with Philadelphia, and Philly should be better this coming season now overall. It's just I'm watching Boston got better, man. They were already better than Miami, and they got better already. You know what? They pulled away a little bit from the Miami Heat, actually, right now with the Brogdon move. That helped them a little bit.
And Gallinari can help them also. So yeah, I agree. But it's the
I'm not in love with Gallinari like other people, especially.
No, but you know what the other move was
a little bit, but he does nothing else for you.
And the other move was even Derek White at midseason last year that we saw as a little move. Matter of fact, let's face it, Big O. When Boston traded Josh Richardson for Derek White, we were like, that's kind of an kind of move. And then we saw Derek White against the Heat, and he had his moments, and he was a game changer, except the one game he had to miss for the birth of his child. So it's also the incremental things that can get you there.
But they have their Tatum and their Brown. We only have Butler. We don't have that other guy.
Okay, because you're not putting Bam there.
No, of course not. There's no way Bam is I gave him a role name already. He's a super role player. He's not a franchise player. I disagree with. I remember you and what's it called, Clay. Were talking about that. He's a super role player.
He's a franchise defender.
No, franchise defender maybe, but he's not a franchise player. Franchise players can lead your team. Okay, franchise players, you build around them. He's a complementary player. He's an extra piece. He's a role player. He's a super role player is what I call him. But he is not a star. You build around Shaquille O'Neal and Alonzo Mourning. You don't build around Bam Adebayo. I'm sorry. I just don't see that in him. When you build around a guy that can impose his will, and Bam Adebayo refuses to do that on a night in and night out basis.
All right, let me pause you here. Let me pause you here for let me pause you 1 second. Let me pause you for 1 second here, because since we're in Vegas and we're probably going to run into him in the hallways again today, if we head over to the Vegas Summer League and Sean Marks, would you include Bam Adebayo in a Kevin Durant trade proposal?
Hells to the yeah.
Would you offer Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, and 2 first-round draft choices?
Hells to the yeah.
See, I'm going to tell you something, and aggregators have fun with this. There are some in the Heat who also would Orlando Alzagari, but there's at least one I know of who steadfastly said no. And I think that's where the Heat are with the whole Durant thing. So when you talked before,
and I think that was Spo that said no.
It wasn't, but I'm not going to go name by name and give away my sourcing there. But what I'm going to tell you is this, is that's why Sean Marks can wait. Because if there is a crack in all of these offers of one more, so for us, it's Bam Adebayo being the one more. If the Heat push Bam Adebayo to the table with Tyler Hero, with draft choices, it at least attracts the Brooklyn Nets' attention. Then you're telling me, as you wave on for those only listening on the podcast, Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, you're comfortable with that as being as good as anyone in the Eastern Conference?
Yes, because I got my star now. Now I got the guy. Now Butler's the number 2 guy.
And Kyle's the number 3.
And Kyle's
who the hell is your power rotation?
Well, I mean, we'll figure that out after. You didn't you say they have the exemption for this and the exemption for that?
Okay.
Well, then let's work those exemptions
that's what I'm saying.
now, baby.
You're always going to be a piece away also, because there is no perfect team.
Yeah, but it's a lot easier to find the role players around the stars than it is to find the stars.
Okay, so this is what we're going to this is what we're going to do.
You're asking me, can Bam become Durant? Can Tyler become Durant? And not say become as good as Durant, but I'm saying become a star? I don't know, but I know Durant is, and I know he's got about 2 years.
When we're in Thomas and Mack, and there's that little hallway between Thomas and Mack and Cox Pavilion, you and I are going to corner Sean Marks. We're going to tell him Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, 2 first-round picks, like the people do in the internet, when they always go with, who says no? So we'll try to corner the guy. I will bring my tape recorder. You can be my witness to sign the notary document. We will try to get this done today.
That's it. And I'll be in my Angelo Dundee uniform too at the same time when I'm approaching Sean Marks, right? I mean, that's what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to.
We'll get this taken care of there. We'll give him the local flavor.
All right. By the way, some of the young guys, we talked a little bit about it on Saturday when we were watching them. I like a lot of these young guys. The Mulder kid, I find very interesting. He's bounced around. He's got a lot of experience. Obviously, Highsmith looks really good. The Bouye kid was kind of interesting. I love Orlando Robinson's moxie. He plays with a mature confidence about him, and I think that confidence he has is going to help him grow really quickly. I can see why your son loved this kid, because I really like what I see.
You know what? And Big O, I just wrote about him at the Sun Sentinel. It'll be in your paper tomorrow, sunsentinel.com. Think about how the Heat have unearthed something out of nothing at center for years. We go back to Ike Austin, of course. More recently, Hassan Whiteside. Last year, Omar Yurtseven. The Heat are really good at doing that, and I think he could be the next. It's really interesting. For all we talked about what the Heat don't have, they're sort of running out of roster spots. They might be down to just 2 spots for camp left, but they only have 2 two-way contracts. And I think that's going to be the interesting math for you and I as we watch these remaining Heat Summer League games out here. Right now, the 2-way contracts are held by Michael Mulder and Javonte Smart. I can make an argument that Orlando Robinson deserves 1.
Oh, yeah.
I can and will make an argument that Marcus Garrett deserves 1.
Yeah.
His defense is sick. That guy is a hungry dog. That guy,
and he's one of your taller guards too, by the way.
And he's rangy also. So you have that also. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play out this 2-way thing in the first place. And you could see what they saw in Haywood Highsmith. And when I talked to Andy Ellisberg and I said, well, what if you convert Haywood back to a 2-way and you open a roster spot? And he said, look, we've got this guy under contract for 2 more years. Why would you mess with that? This is a guy we have at a minimum salary for 2 years who can do, this is my thought, some PJ Tucker type of things. And we saw that. You were sitting next to me there at the game Saturday at Thomas, at Cox Pavilion. You can see what the kid can do. So again, the one good thing I think we both agree with, the development pipeline is fine here right now.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
are positioned for the future, whether that includes Tyler and Bam and then these young kids, that's great. It's in the moment. It's because Orlando Alzagari saw the Heat within one shot of the NBA Finals. And when you're close, oh, I agree. It's hard not to want a little bit more when all it takes is a little bit more.
And by the way, I love the Jovic kid. You can tell he's got you can see the skill set.
But he's a while away.
Oh, no, yeah.
He
You
has
can
to
tell
fill
he's
out,
super
yeah.
green. You can tell he's going to get pushed around. You
Yes.
see a lot of what Tyler had to go through early on. You could tell that he's going to have to go through
No,
some of that.
and just to fill people in, when we did post-game interviews, you have to walk across a hallway and go downstairs. Big O even shoved Jovic out of the way. The guy is so frail. So that sort of gives you perspective right there.
Yeah, he's but he's an interesting cat. You can see the skill
You
set.
know what? At number 27, that's what you want. At number 27, instead of getting some sloggy big man who's going to give you 4 minutes off the bench and 6 fouls, you go for the intrigue. They definitely got foreign intrigue at number 27.
Hey, what was LeBron James eating on the sidelines there when he brought his own snacks to the
You know, with LeBron James, he's eating whatever the hell he wants. It's
How was
incredible
he?
how he creates a buzz. You're seeing this in summer league, the buzz created by the guys who just happen in. You know, we talked about how it's great for the fans, it's fun for the media. The players eat this up, whether it's John Wall showing up or Kyrie Irving creating a scene or Dame Lillard. These guys know it really is an annual convention for the NBA, and I'm glad you sort of got a taste of that this year.
Well, I when I started the show, I talked about how I for years I've told people go to the Senior Bowl if you're a football fan because you get to see these young stars and they're walking around like nothing, and you get to meet them and all that. And the same thing here.
And the difference here is
older players, you're going to see young players, you're going to see current players.
And you're going to see NBA stars there also. The Senior Bowl, you don't have all the NFL players showing up. Maybe a couple of alumni show up. Their season's still going on in the playoffs. You have
might be coaches, actually.
Yeah,
really.
but this is the present and the future all in one place and accessible. You can bump into coaches, you bump into executives, you bump into scouts, you bump into players. It really is fascinating. People go to me, man, I saw those crowds. It's crazy how it is over there. You know what? This is NBA basketball at the right price and the right proportion. We're in the city of the buffet. You can show up at noon and be there till midnight watching games for one ticket. I'm not being a salesman here, but that's how unique this thing is. The NBA.
Don't tell me that basketball doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Because go watch this place. The two arenas are loaded day and night the entire time. People are loving, and they're coming from all over to come see their favorite teams, just like baseball spring training.
And you see it in this town with T-Mobile Arena for the Golden Knights, and you see it for the football stadium right out there on the highway. They're going to get their NBA team soon enough. There is a following, a passion here, and you can see that the NBA is meaningful. And man, it's going to be interesting when that expansion team starts, how many guys are going to sign up for the expansion draft.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Will it be a new team or because New Orleans now may not be moving because they might be getting a good team now, so they might be able to stay there. Will the NBA expand again, or
they will expand by 2 more teams? What they're going to do is get the new
Seattle.
TV money, lock the TV money into the 30 teams that everyone gets their cuts, then tell 2 new teams, next TV deal you'll be taken care of. You can join our party. For a lot of teams, that $2 billion plus price gives them a nice infusion of cash that they might have lost during the pandemic. Everyone is talking about Seattle. Bunch of people are talking about out here in Vegas. And what's going to happen is there's a bunch of teams in the Western Conference right now that shouldn't be. Memphis is in the Western Conference. New Orleans is in the Western Conference. And the West had been so competitive for so long. There's a bunch of teams that would love nothing more than to shift over to the Eastern Conference.
Wow, we get John Moran in the East. That would be freaking awesome.
Except for the Heat. So yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, whatever. Competition's competition.
Yeah, I think Vegas and Seattle right now. Seattle will help Portland have a closer team. There'll be less travel. So I could see that happen. Minnesota for years has petitioned to get back in the East because of their proximity to Milwaukee and to Chicago. So there'll be teams lined up to go the other way also. And also for TV deals, when you're East and Central time zone, those West Coast games don't get you great TV ratings when they're starting in your local market or 9 or 10 o'clock. So that's part of it. So, yeah, I think that's a reason for Westward Ho for the NBA.
There you go. All right. I'll see you later this afternoon, my brother. Appreciate you as always. Thank you for taking some time. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Winderman. Oh, I'm sorry, Ira Heatbeat. And then follow him, of course, there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel and subscribe. Ira, as always, thank you, my man.
Catch you again Friday, another accurate Pembroke Pines report. Thank you, Big O.
You got it. There you go. Ira Winderman. We'll see him in a few minutes. Well, a couple hours still. It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 a.m. here. We're still 5 hours away from practice. We got 2 more hours left on this show at least. Let's see, what else do we have here? We trade for a 33-year-old Shaq. Why can't we do the same for Durant? Yeah, no, I would. I would trade in a heartbeat. A heartbeat. I would trade Bam and Tyler. A heartbeat. Let's go. Give me Durant right now. That you give me Durant and they got a better shot at winning the title. Bro, Yurk can play. You'll get other guys involved. You'll sign a veteran or two that'll go, oh my, yeah, I'll go play with Jimmy and Durant. Yeah. Let's go. You'll get guys that'll want to play for him. You'll be able to make trades. The people want to get out of some other place to come there to Miami. Everything changes. Once you add, LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, then Ray Allen comes and Battier comes, and that's what happens. The role players are a lot easier to fill. It's getting that star that counts. And that's my huge concern right now with the Miami Heat. You've got to get a star now. A year from now, I just don't think you're not going to. I'm just afraid that the Jimmy train is going to, come to a halt in the very near future. The man is a human being. I know he's kind of superhuman at times. I know Jimmy Butler's got bigger balls than most people do. You know what I'm saying? I know he's got the guts that a thief doesn't have. Okay? I get all of that about Jimmy. I love all of that about Jimmy. But I know he's got a ton of wear and tear, man. From the games, from the practices, from his own. I mean, this is the guy that's in the bubble and he's in his hotel room practicing and dribbling and all that and building up a sweat. Which is crazy because he takes his body to an extreme and he puts his own wear and tear on that body already. I think you need to make a trade for a star and as soon as possible. We'll see. We'll see. Bam is a solid 3, not a 2. Yeah, he's not a star. He's not a 1 or a 2. I like Bam a lot, but I know what he is. I'm good with what he is. He's a success. As a draft pick, great. You pick him at number 13, he ends up being this. Wow, fantastic. But he's not a star. He's not a franchise player. It's just not. Franchise players can carry teams. He cannot. And that's the problem with Bam. Love him, but he's not good enough. And if you have to give him up to get Durant, you do it, bro. You do it. You do it now, and you do it every day of the week and twice on Sundays. I wanted the Bulls to build around Jimmy, but instead they traded him. That's what Caddyshack says. Curious if Udonis Haslem is moving to an assistant coach's role. Well, he's already an assistant coach. It's just he happens to put on a uniform, but he's really an assistant coach. You saw Utah decline our offer because it wasn't enough. Man, if we find out it's because Riley didn't want to trade Hero for Mitchell, we're going to riot. Well, I don't know if it was Riley or not, or Spo or what. I have no idea. But, and what Ira was saying is that for the combination of Bam and Tyler and 2 first-rounders for Durant, he says somebody in the hierarchy doesn't want to do it. I took a guess that it was Spo. So, I don't know. Could be. Maybe not. Who knows? I will give up Hero, Bam, Yurt, and 2 picks for Durant and Simmons. I will feel confident playing against any team. I'm with you, Daniel. I'm with you. I don't know if I give up Yurt, because if I'm giving up Bam, I want to keep Yurt. You know what I mean? I need Yurt. If they tell me you don't get Durant unless we get Yurt, well, then here, have your yogurt. Take it easy. You know what I'm saying? But if I can give you something else, not Caleb, something else, then yeah, I'll do that. Because, I mean, I kind of like Yurt. You know, he already showed me that he's a good rebounder. And I know he has to, like, develop his offensive game, but I don't need him to be as offensive. Like right now with Jimmy and no Durant, you need another player that's more offensive. And obviously Bam is not offensive enough. And that's let me ask all of you out there that are on the chat board right now. Do you expect Bam to take the next step offensively? To become a star, to become a guy that can impose his will on offense? For those of you that are on the chat board right now, and if you're listening on the podcast, send me the response at BigORadioshow@yahoo.com. Do you expect Bam next year to become a star where he imposes his will offensively? Because that would be the next step. Can he do that? Because I say no. It's not in him. I don't see it. If you tell me it's going to happen, then I say, okay, you don't need to make a move. But do you expect it? You tell me. Nature B is for me 27 vitamins and amino acids, 28 minerals, and they got that powerful antioxidants, folks. Bee pollen is, it's gathered in clean green New Zealand. It's potentiated, which, by the way, it enhances. This way your body absorbs it really quickly. It gets into your system. And, it supports great nutrition. You won't have that fade in the middle of the day. You got that energy all day long. And my favorite part, for 20 years now that I've been taking it, it boosts my immune system. And yeah, I have my vaccine and I'm double boosted, but it doesn't matter. I take Nature B every day. The benefits are endless. Those squeaky joints, well, guess what? They ease up on those squeaky joints and the old sports injuries. Stronger nails, smoother skin, fuller hair, all of those things. Go to natureb.com. And right now, we got a July special that is going to knock you out. You buy 2 months, you get the 3rd month for free. And the shipping is free. Put that code BIG-O. Order there. 2 months, you get the 3rd month for free. And the shipping is free. Use our code BIG-O. Listen to me. You get the first 2 months. The 3rd month is free. And the shipping is free. Use the code BIG-O right now. And this is great for everybody. My daughter's been taking it since she was a child. The entire family's been taking it for 20 years. And it's, listen, all natural. Comes right from clean green New Zealand, from Mother Nature. Not made in some kind of lab somewhere or anything like that. All right? Go to natureb.com and get it right now. 2 months, 3rd month for free, and free shipping. BIG-O! Use the code. Hour number 2 is next.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Evolve your training and step into the new era of muscle recovery. Red Recover.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys?
Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show's coverage of the NBA Summer League is brought to you by the Fort Lauderdale Police Department. The FLPD is hiring. Go to FLPDjobs.com. EJD Construction, where you can trust their team of construction experts. Perdomo Cigars. Experience the Perdomo way. Go to perdomocigars.com. We continue with our coverage live from Las Vegas with our Slomans.com NBA Summer League. Slomans Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Here's your host, Big O.
Righty, there we go. I'm seeing Marcel Louis Jacques, by the way. He's at Jordan Poyer's golf tournament. Celebrity Open. Players here are Tua Tagovailoa, Matt Milano, Gabriel Davis, Mitch Trubisky, and Levi Wallace. He says, we've got some Dolphin players here. We got some Bills players. It's all good. It's the off season. So there you go. Marcel is at a golf tournament. What a tough life that guy lives. Holy crap. And isn't Jordan Poyer, he's married to that, isn't it Rachel Bush or something like that? I want to say, right? She's that smoke show. Well, I want to say, see, tell me if Jordan Poyer's with Rachel Bush, I want to say is her name. Smoke show, Rachel Bush. Something like that. It is Rachel Bush, huh? How about that, huh? I got all this useless information. Yes. Yeah, you know. Rachel Bush. Yeah. Rachel Bush. Yeah. Yeah, Rachel Bush. Yeah. I'm just, what can I tell you? Yep. Rachel Bush. Yep. I wonder how I remember that name. I don't know. It's just, things happen and you just remember things. You just don't forget those kind of things. It's just, I don't know why. These are just things that I don't know. I just can't tell you why they just live in my brain. You know, I can't tell you why. I just don't. I remember the name Rachel Bush. I just can't tell you why. That's all. So, we are facilitators of fun here on the program. That's all I got to tell you. Speaking of Rachel Bush, Blue Chew. That's right, folks. If you want to come through in the bedroom, then you've got to get yourself a little Blue Chew. Yeah. If your lady is a little bit down on your performance and you're thinking, what do I got to do to pick it up? Maybe you pick up the phone. Maybe you go to BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night. You can plan ahead and you can be ready when the opportunity arises. You know what I mean? The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you're going to receive your prescription within days. Here's the best part. It's all done online, no visits to a doctor's office, so you don't have to have those awkward conversations face-to-face. No waiting in line in the pharmacy, and then you got to tell the person what you want, and they're hearing it from everywhere else. Blue Chew tablets, by the way, are made in the USA, prepared and shipped directly to your door in a discreet package. And listen, women love confidence. And when you got confidence in the bedroom, that just carries on over everywhere else. I've got a great deal for you. How about a free deal for you? You like free? We'll give it to you. Right now, we got a special deal. Try Blue Chew for free when you use our promo code BIG. Ow! That's right. You check out, you pay only $5 for the shipping. That's it. Go to BlueChew.com, promo code BIG. Ow! To receive your first month for free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring our show. There you go. All right. Big O, she's a smoke show and a half. Well, Samuel, you've got some you've got some taste. There's a reason why that name just stuck to my mind, because I remember seeing Jordan Poyer and he was with her and I was like, whoa, wow, Jordan, you scored. Okay. Yeah, she's smoking. She's smoking. Let's see. Rachel Bush is his wife. Oh, okay. Well, wife, girlfriend, whatever. The dude's winning. Poyer's batting above his average. LOL. Yeah, he is. He outkicked his coverage there. Isaiah's in. Too Extreme says she's hotter than Katya, and I think Katya is finer than fine. Yeah, they're both smoke shows. Yeah. That was an excellent transition, says Henley. Well, I figured she's an inspiring woman for those of you out there. Eric says, no word yet on Travarius White. Will be ready maybe October. Bills are starting 2022 season with no outside corner, hoping their pass rush is elite. Pipe Man Slim says, chew for Bush. Ian from Brooklyn says, push in the bush. You know I want to get down. A little musique. How about that, huh? There you go. Wasn't Bam the same player who in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Final scored 32 points? Yes. But the problem is Rosendo, he disappears in other games. You can't have 2 out of 7 games. You got to play all 7. And you got to be really good in all 7. And that's what he can't do. That's why he's not special. That's why he's not an offensive force, Rosendo, because he can't do that often. That's the thing. You can't pick and choose what performances he has. When you're a great offensive player, you do it every night. And he doesn't. Poyer hit a grand slam with that one, says Alexander. I would say so. Kenshawn says, I'm prepared for the big move down with Bitcoin of 15K or below. I've already stacked Gala Solana rewards are coming in when it goes even lower. Well, Kenshawn, if it goes even lower, I can't wait. Then I will buy more and more and more. I will not stop buying. Miles Deep says, morning, Big O. When's the Tommy Rockers set up? Yeah, we're trying to do something. You going to show up or what? You sure you're going to show up? The problem with the whole Tommy Rockers thing, not anything with Tommy or the place, it's just so early in the morning, 7 to 10 in the morning. We're going to get people to go out at 7. It's hard. You know what I mean? And then I'll be quite honest too. We have to wake up that much earlier to go to there, to then set up and do all that stuff. So it just becomes a little bit of a mission. We might go later on in the week is where we might end up doing. But it's a really convenient thing to keep doing it right from our Airbnb, man. It really is. John Yang says, I love the name Bush. I'm talking about the beer. Relax, okay? Come on. Don't you see how I said it? Eric Storm says, Bills will need Poyer and Hyde to be great at safety this year with questions at corner. Bills will end up paying Poyer, I think. Thoughts on Scottie Pippen Jr. and Sharif O'Neal? They are sons of great players. That's all I got for you. Okay? When I see them in the NBA, well, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Wait till I watch them in the NBA. Are they doing a little something here every once in a while or something? Yeah. But outside of that, I need to see them in the NBA. I feel bad for kids that come from the loins of great players. And they're stuck living up to their dad, and it's just so brutal, man. John says, you sounded just like that guy. Bet you guy. LOL. Bush. Alex says, Bush beer. LOL. Okay. What? I was talking about Bush beer. What's wrong with you people? Your minds are all in the gutter, man. I tell you. You people. Man. Did you guys see Ray Allen, by the way? And we've talked about this in the past. So Ray Allen, this young kid was asking Ray Allen about LeBron James being the GOAT. And so can you pull up the Ray Allen soundbite for me there? So Ray Allen had something interesting to say about, the comment about LeBron James being the GOAT. And the way he was phrasing it, it was interesting. It's a different way of looking at it. It's the way a basketball player like himself is looking at it. And it's fair. Now, I have another reason why I say LeBron James is not the GOAT. But let's listen to Ray Allen. You can watch it too, right? Because that's not anything. That's just a tweet, man, from a kid. It's not, it's not, I don't think it's not a, whatever. I don't know. But, so they can, yeah, if anything. But we could just play the audio if you want. That way you don't have to worry about it. But I don't think it'll be an issue. But here's Ray Allen being asked by the youngin about LeBron James being the GOAT. And here's Ray's response to it. All right, Sean, fire away.
Yeah, out the hole, he can score and pass it. Is he a great free throw shooter? Is he a great three-point shooter? Is he a great dribbler? So you're saying the GOAT, and he's a great in all the categories. Well, it is?
All right, so for those of you that, it's kind of hard to understand everything there. So he's saying, you're saying he's the GOAT. Is he a great free throw shooter? No. Is he a great three-point shooter? No. Is he a great dribbler? No. So then how can you be the GOAT if you're not great in those three categories? That's Ray's, response to LeBron not being the GOAT. And some people consider Kareem Abdul-Jabbar the GOAT. And by the way, I have no problem with somebody saying that. Just like I don't have a problem if you want to say LeBron's the GOAT. It's all subjective. In my eyes, he's not. But here's why I say he's not the GOAT. Because it took him years into his NBA career, I believe about 9 years, to finally learn how to close out people in games. Because it took that Boston series, game 6. That's when he crossed the threshold of being like the guy. Because the year before that, he was embarrassed by J.J. Barea. And he had other embarrassing moments when he disappeared against the Spurs and I think the Celtics once too. While he was with the Cavs, that he had some moments where he didn't play well either in the playoffs and kind of had disappearing acts. And that's why Michael Jordan is the GOAT, because Michael Jordan as a baby closed you out with North Carolina. That's the GOAT. They gave the sophomore the biggest shot of the game, and he hit it. And when he got to the league, you didn't stop him. You might stop Orlando Woolridge and Rory Sparrow and some of the other guys that were with him in his early days in Chicago, but you weren't stopping him. You know, he lost in the Garden, but he scored 63. The rest of his team wasn't good enough, but he scored 63. You see what I'm saying? Michael was going to get his. You weren't going to stop him. No matter what, he was always the GOAT. He was never shying away from anything. He never disappeared. Nothing. That never happened with Michael Jordan. Okay? Michael Jordan put the fear of God into everybody from day one. That's how it was with that guy. So to me, that's the reason why LeBron James is not the GOAT. Because it took him forever to learn how to become a GOAT, to become a closer. Michael Jordan, that came naturally to him. So Ray Allen can have his explanation on why he's not the GOAT, and that he's more than entitled to it. He's more than entitled to his opinion because he's a hell of a player. But I'll go with you're not the GOAT when you can't do certain things early on in your career. You either have it or you don't. Magic Johnson was going to cut your heart out, and so was Larry Bird from day one. Didn't matter where they were at. They were going to cut your heart out. Larry was going to cut your heart out and then tell you that he cut your heart out while holding it in your hand. Magic Johnson was the same way. You don't play center as a freshman, as a rookie, and go 40, 20, and whatever the hell. I forgot exactly, but it's something like that. You don't do shit like that unless you are the GOAT. Magic Johnson is way more the GOAT than LeBron ever could be. Larry Bird is way more a GOAT than LeBron James ever could be. Those kind of dudes didn't have to learn how to eliminate your ass. They savored eliminating your ass. They were dying to eliminate your ass. That's the difference. That to me are the GOATs. Let's see. I disagree about the ball handling, but I do think he's the best player. Samuel says MJ is the GOAT, and he played in an era where you would get killed when driving to the hoop. Much more physical game. True. Kobe took a team with Smush Parker at the starting point guard, Kwame Brown at center, and Luke Walton forward in the playoffs, one win away from the second round. That makes Kobe's also a GOAT-like player. Definitely. Not over Michael, but yes. Speaking of the GOAT, Big O, have you heard or talked about Zach Wilson allegedly sleeping with his mom's best friend? I have not gotten to that story yet. But for those of you, I guess, if you want to talk a little bit about that, we can do that. And for those of you that don't know, Zach Wilson broke up with his high school sweetheart. And the high school sweetheart ended up exposing him and saying that he broke up with her because Zach is dating his mom's best friend. So, yeah, there you go. So his ex-girlfriend, Abby Guile, exposed him for sleeping with his mom's best friend, Lisa. Now, we have talked about in the past about Zach Wilson's mom. She's a goat. She's a smoke show. And so she has friends. And I guess she has hot friends. So Zach is, going out with his mom's friend. So Lisa Wilson made the huge mistake of checking her direct messages on Instagram and noticed that a disrespectful troll left her a terrible message about her life. And so she was all hot and bothered about all that kind of stuff. So she's been in the news for the last year since Zach got in because guys were going after her and all that. And she's hot and all that. And so they went after her like, oh, the only reason you matter is because you pumped out a couple kids and you're living off of your son. And so, she's kind of been in the news for a while now, his mom. So Zach Wilson now scrubbed his old girlfriend, Abby Guile, from her Instagram account earlier this year. In return, she now has scrubbed one of his best friends into her life. So she is now going out with his best friend from BYU, Washington Commanders wide receiver Dax Milne. So all of a sudden now you've got the girl going out with the best friend, and you've got Zach going out with the friend of his mom. So what can I tell you? He showed up at a game with a mystery woman, so people got all interested in, okay, what's going on here? Who's he dating? All that kind of stuff. I don't know what happened. I can't tell you what happened. But sometimes I can tell you this. Sometimes men just want a woman in the bedroom. And you just wonder sometimes when things like this happen, as a 55-year-old man that's lived a full life and full of experiences of all kinds, even with older women when I was young. Yeah, I can tell you at times when you're young, you want somebody that, you're intrigued by that woman that is aggressive, in other words. You know what I'm saying? So a guy his age will be attracted to a woman that's a little older because of the challenge, because of the wants and needs from that woman are much more obvious. I'm just saying. So who knows? I'm just taking, shots in the dark here. And sometimes the relationship in the dark room is something that affects the relationship overall. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if his girlfriend was taking care of business, but clearly Zach felt like he had to go somewhere else to take care of business. And when it's from young to older woman, I'm just telling you from my experiences as a younger guy, it was incredibly attractive to go out and experience things with older women. Just saying. You know, because I do remember the times I was like 18 and going out with like a 34-year-old. And it was it's an interesting part of your life. That's all I can tell you. Big O, I concur. I always was naturally attracted to women that were slightly older because of their experience and also their level of maturity. And there's a lot less screwing around to get to the screwing around. You get what I'm saying? Like they cut through the crap and they know what they want. His mom is a distraction. Well, she's a smoke show. And she's also controversial too. She's also willing to say things. Well, let's see. Who cares about Wilson? He's a morning from BYU. They're weird as F in Utah. Okay. So he's a morning, huh? He's a morning. Okay. Got to go out on those things for a couple of years to be a morning. Okay. I got it. You ever been a morning? No? Do you wake up in the morning? Okay. All right. I've never seen the morning religion. What is it? A Chick-fil-A biscuit? Yeah. Okay. All right. All right, because that's important. That's an important morning right there. I know it's Mormons. Relax. Jesus Christ, Anthony. What is wrong with you? Big O must agree 100%. No games. I know, man. I mean, I'm not bullshitting you. And a lot of us have lived those experiences. Plenty of guys at a young age have their own cuckoo cachoo, Mrs. Robinson. Okay? Plenty of us have it. And they're game changers, by the way. They're life changers. They help. Oh God, I'm not saying that on the air. Big O, where does this D line stack up all time? Brian, can we wait till they actually play? Let's wait till they actually play and do something, and then we find out how good they are. They haven't played one down yet, so we don't know. Raekwon Davis has not grown into himself yet. Jalen Phillips has not grown into himself yet. There's just so much unanswered that right now, that's silly talk at this point. That's forcing football talk where there's no football. And I just don't do that on this show. You know what I mean? I just don't play that game right now on this show. That's other shows that are desperate and they have to stay in one subject. Maybe they have to do silly stuff like that. But I don't get into that. We'll wait till they actually take the field and we'll see them actually play and do something. And then we can talk about how good they are, how bad they are, how great they can be, whatever it is. Oh, since you're big into crypto, what are your thoughts on the merger with Bitcoin and Ethereum that Elon Musk did last week? Merger? What merger? There's no merger. What are you talking about, bro? Bitcoin and Ethereum are two completely different things and they can't merge. Okay. Let's switch gears. Let's talk a little football where there is none with Alan Poupar and our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report.
Let's get ready to talk Dolphins football. It's the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Report with Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupard. With locations throughout South Florida, Sports Grill is the home of the special grilled wings. Check out our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Alan Poupard.
How you doing, my man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Very good. How was your vacation?
Fabulous.
What'd you do?
Enjoyed every bit of it. What did we do? Well, I knocked off a few things off a bucket list first in my lifetime: zip lining, swimming with dolphins, swimming in caves, riding first class on a ferry. I didn't even know that existed, actually. That was very cool.
What the hell is first class on a ferry?
It's a very, very large ferry that got us from Playa del Carmen to Cozumel, and it's 3 levels. It's a really big ferry, big boat, and there's a section that's enclosed, and literally it's first class. You pay a little bit extra, and you're like in the air conditioning.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
very nice seats as opposed to those
hard ass seats. Yeah.
No, it's very cool, actually. I didn't even know that existed. So I was like, yeah, that worked.
Okay. All right. I had no idea they had like first class in a ferry.
Did not know that either.
Yeah. Wow. How long of a trip is it in that ferry?
The one to Cozumel is about 20 minutes, that neighborhood.
Okay.
Not terribly long.
All right.
So.
Twice as long as the one in Disney World. Right? Because that's about 10, 15 minutes or something like that.
I don't think I've ever taken a ferry in Disney World.
You never have? Wow.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't taken that ferry in years. It's over 20 years the last time easily I went on that ferry. Maybe more. I don't know, but it's been a while. Obviously, I always take the monorail to go into the Magic Kingdom, but the ferry is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm spacing out. That ferry. Yes, I've taken that ferry one.
Oh, okay, all right.
Spacing out. Sorry.
I figure you're an old fart. I figure you've taken the ferry in your early days, because that's when you do in your later days. I bet you haven't taken the ferry the last few times you've been to Disney.
No, I much prefer the ferry, and when we take the monorail, it's basically because I get outvoted by my wife and 2 kids, because I would always go for the ferry.
Oh, okay. So they go monorail.
A lot of times they prefer going monorail.
Of course. Yeah. I rarely did the damn ferry anymore. That is, although what we used to love to do is rent the boats, the little speed boats.
Okay.
And then what you do is you'd go behind the ferry in the wake and jump those waves.
There you go. Nice.
That's what you do. That's the trick right there. Now you got to watch out, because then there's the Disney Coast Guard, and then they're getting all bent out of shape that you're trying to do some stuff that you're not supposed to do, and all that kind of stuff back in the day. There you go. See, you got to learn how to get in trouble in Disney World. You ever been in trouble in Disney World?
Not that I can recall off the top of my head.
No,
but I tend to be a rule follower. I'm like very, very square that way.
Okay, all right. You never went to the Disney jail behind the scenes that I've been told about?
No. On that little island that they have?
I don't know where it's at, but supposedly they've got like behind the scene jails. Like when people get out of control, they like take you, like they'll take you right behind like some kind of a thing that you think is normal, and it's just like a doorway that leads back into some area where they put your ass away or something until the cops come to pick you up. Yeah.
They turn you into a donkey?
Yeah. I've heard of it because they do it in the what's it called? Grad night. Okay. It happens to some of the kids that get out of control. You disappear. Like they like, I don't know where they go. Maybe somebody on the chat board. I bet you we have over 200 people right now on the chat board. Somebody's been in trouble in Disney out of those 200 people.
Question is, will anybody admit it?
Oh, they will. Our listeners are honest, bro. They talk about. Plus, the guy that's admitting it, it happened to him 40 years ago, so he doesn't care at this point. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's true.
It's probably what it's all about. All right. I see that this is desperation time during this part of the off season, so they'll make anything a story. It's not really a big story of the Gesicki thing not having a contract, right? I almost kind of feel like he was going to go through this season without a contract, almost. Like I can almost see him getting the contract 3/4 of the way into the season after they see that he fits what they're doing and all that kind of stuff. Because that's what I think people are missing out on. The people that are talking about this is they're not supposed to sign him to a long-term deal until you actually find out if he fits your scheme.
Correct. No, I mean, it's a story in the sense that the deadline is coming up Friday. So it's news if it happened. Once the deadline arrives, it's news whether they did it or didn't do it, because now his status is going to be cloudy until next off season if they don't sign him to an extension, which again, to me would be shocking if they did.
Yeah.
But but like as you said, it made no sense because the big question, the second Mike McDaniel's hired as head coach, is how does Mike Gesicki fit into that offense? They haven't found out that answer since the offseason program. Sorry, I mean they can say all they want about, he's applying himself and really taking on the challenge of becoming a better blocker because that's what you would expect him to do, but that doesn't mean he's going to be proficient at it. And the other factor again is to me is where does Hunter Long fit into all of this? Because again, you spent a third round pick on the guy in 2021. To me, that high of a draft pick for a tight end, ideally you did it with the idea he's going to become a starter at some point.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And I'm sure you also drafted him, or maybe Flo drafted him, because he felt he could block. And so which, by the way, he does have a reputation of supposedly being also a blocker too, besides a pass catcher, which is not what Gesicki is known for. That's why when I saw its story, it was like, this is a non-story. It doesn't make any sense. Signing him would be actually shocking news, because as much as I like Gesicki and I want him to stay here, I think most of us that follow his team, we think he's a good player, but you have to understand, we still don't know if he fits this new scheme. And that's the part that you have to give the people in the front office and the coaching staff the benefit of the doubt now. They have to now figure things out first to see if this new look Dolphins fits what Mike can do.
Well, 2 quick points here is number one, the original report came from Mike Garofalo, and then NFL.com did it as part of a package on the 8 guys who were given the franchise tag in the offseason, 4 of whom have got an extension. So it wasn't like they made a big headline out of it. Those of us who cover the Dolphins obviously pulled it out and specifically focused on Gesicki. That's number one. Number two, if we look at Gesicki objectively, he belongs in a scheme that's a wide open passing game where he's almost a pseudo wide receiver, not in a run oriented scheme that's going to have a fullback to begin with. So
the truth is the truth, bro.
Correct.
I mean, in other words, he probably fits the Arizona Cardinals more than he fits what they're doing here.
Correct, without question. So it's like you have a great talent, but you don't need his kind of talent as much in this scheme as other teams. He's got a lot more value to other teams than he does for the Dolphins.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. You're right about that. It's just a matter of seeing if he can make that transition to what they need. And that's why I say, and here's the flip side to all of this, which again, kudos to the front office. They have plenty of money now that if they do want to extend anybody halfway, 3/4 of the year in, that they have somebody up or somebody close to it, they do have the flexibility of doing that. So they've done a nice job of keeping some space available for those kind of things, because that's a real, as you know, that's a really real advantage for a team, because if you do have a couple guys next year and you only have one tag or something like that, if you can lock up somebody now, then that alleviates some of that pressure in the offseason for some of the things you have to do to tag a certain guy or not.
No, and without question. And the other thing about Gesicki that to me is problematic is last year, he had a lot of catches, career high in catches and in yards. If my numbers are not incorrect, I think he had 2 touchdown catches for a tight end. I mean, I'd like to see more red zone production from the guy personally.
Well, again, let me defend.
And that's it's part of a whole package. It's not just him, but ideally that's what you get out of your tight end.
Yeah, but to defend him on this, it wasn't his fault that he was on the sidelines a lot. That was, the way things were being run last year. They didn't use him as much as they should. They didn't use him the way they should at times. So some of that I can blame on him, his lack of production. I think he could have been more productive if they would have schemed him in a little bit more. And I thought they didn't last year at times.
Yeah, I'd have to see I'll be honest. My perception is that he was on the field.
There were times that Smythe and him had the same snaps, or Smythe had a couple more snaps.
Correct. Yeah.
That's
they love Smythe because of his blocking ability, and then
I get it.
It's almost if Smythe's off the field and Gesicki's on the field, you're telling the opposition it's a passing play coming up, whereas Smythe gives you more of the mystery aspect of it. But yeah, no, there are different factors involved.
Yeah. So that's why I don't blame it all on him on the lack of production, because I think it's something that they could have schemed him in there for. Anything else injury wise? Everything on target for Mostert? Anything else you know about?
No, and there's really no way of knowing. They're reporting in a couple of weeks. We'll have a better idea. I'd be surprised if Mostert didn't start training camp on PUP. I wouldn't be surprised if Byron Jones started training camp on PUP, considering he had off-season surgery. Teron Armstead's a question mark as whether he's going to open on PUP, but my guess with him, I have less of a concern where if he does start on PUP, it could be a matter of a couple of days, which won't be a huge deal as long as he's fine once he gets back. I think those, and Alec Ingold, probably my guess was where you would start training camp on PUP. He's a guy I'd like to get in there sooner rather than later because he's going to play a big part in this offense, as a new fullback, something the Dolphins haven't had in a couple of years.
Agree. 100%. I definitely would want to get. Now, the good thing is he's an experienced fullback.
Correct.
So that part, at least, it's not like we're bringing in a rookie fullback and then you're like saying, oh, man, can we get the guy ready? And what does he know the system and the scheme and yada, yada, all that crap? This guy will adjust quickly because he's a smart guy. He's been in the league for a while now. So that's a good thing. And he's physically already prepared for this league and all that other stuff. So the transition will be a little less for him, at least.
Yeah, no question. And again, to me, in all the talk about the Dolphins running game and how it could be improved, he's a next factor in all of this. Because if you look at San Francisco's success, Juszczyk as their fullback, who's in the Pro Bowl every year, played a not insignificant role. So they need Ingold to be that kind of guy for them.
I'm with you there. All right. What are you working on at Sports Illustrated so folks can check you out, my friend?
Yeah, we picked it back up. Right, I picked it back up, I should say, right away when I got back. I got back Friday night, and I was back to 4 stories yesterday and Saturday, and that's the pace I'm looking to maintain. And then once training camp starts, I'll be even more than that. Today, I got the final part of a mailbag where I asked for questions thanks to the magic of telecommunications worldwide, where I solicited Twitter questions. Got a ton of them, enough of them that I needed to split up into 3 parts. Part 3 is today. Got a story continuing our series of the opponent breakdowns. Today is the Buffalo Bills, which is week 3. The countdown with the jersey numbers today was number 59. Had to go way back for the top player to wear 59 for the Dolphins. And I'm going to have something today.
Was Brzezinski 59?
He was not the top guy on my list. He was in the top 3. He was not the top guy on my list.
Well, he didn't make the top 3?
No, he did make the top 3, but he was not.
Okay.
He was not number
one. Oh, okay. Oh, wait, who's number 1? God, I haven't looked, so I can't. I didn't cheat. Wow. All right, I'm not gonna tell you to say it because I want people to go check it out. And wow, I can't believe I'm forgetting who it must be because it must be so freaking obvious, right?
I don't know if I'd say that. No, I wouldn't say.
Oh, no, it's not?
Well,
okay, so then I don't feel so bad.
Unless you're old, and you are, and I am. So for us, it maybe should be obvious. But...
Oh God, now you're hitting me hard with the old thing.
Okay, don't reveal it. I'll give you the initials, and then you'll give me now I get it. DS are the initials.
Oh.
Got it?
Yeah, of course I got it. I'm an idiot. Yes.
Okay.
What a moron I am. God, how can I not get that?
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Jesus. That's just plain stupidity on my part, bro. Huh?
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, God. All right, well, check it out so you can check it out every day because he does it every damn day, and it's actually a really cool list. It's a fun list to follow.
Okay, and if I may, one more thing is I have a Tua-related story and Tua in year 3 that I encourage everybody to check out.
Okay, there you go. Check it out and follow him on Twitter at PoopartNFL and subscribe to alldolphins.com. Check it out. Bookmark the page, baby. He is Alan Poupart. Alan, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
You got it. We'll speak on Thursday.
You got it. There you go. The great Alan Poupart. Good stuff as always. There it is, your sports grill. Miami Dolphins report.
This has been the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report with Alan Poupart, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and never miss a report. Search Big O Radio Show on most platforms. Visit Sports Grill in our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza.
All right. You doing good? You feeling good? Okay, that's what I like. That's what I like to hear. Y'all feeling great out there? Y'all feeling good? That's what it's all about. Trying to figure this thing out myself. Okay, there we go. Anyway, we thank Alan Poupart as always. I don't know. How could I not get that 59? That was terrible on my part. Terrible. Very disappointed in myself. Very, very disappointed in myself. I'll tell you. Have I told you about redrecover.com? You will be very happy with yourself when you go check out redrecover.com. Are you dealing with any aches and pains right now when you work out? Are you dealing with some old sports injuries or just some old injuries overall? And there's some aches, some pains. My man, Sean Stanley, has some serious stuff going on with his knees, and he's got bone on bone. And yet he puts on those wraps from Red Recover, those 15 minutes, and it alleviates the pain. It improves the blood flow in there. You know, I tell you all the time, I use the Red Recover hat every day. I put it on for 15 minutes to help my hair grow. And one of the other things that it does is it gets into your scalp, into your brain, and it helps blood flow. All right. And that helps also for all kinds of other things that you do every day with your brain. So there's a lot of healthy things that go with it. And that's why we talk about redrecover.com. Athletes like Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end, are using it. People are using it for their kids because they're running around all summer long with strains and sprains from falling and playing sports and all of that. And you can use something that's all natural. There's no medication whatsoever. And listen, when we talk about Red Recover, okay, we listen to this. It's great for anybody suffering from chronic pain such as arthritis, neck, lower back discomfort. 15 minutes will bring tremendous relief. You'll feel better without using medication. Red Recover is 100% natural with no side effects. It has 3 different light wavelengths to help you optimize recovery and performance. Red Recover is 100% natural with no side effects. Go to redrecover.com, order any of the products, use our code BIG-O, and you will get 10% off. Go to redrecover.com. You're dealing with an old shoulder injury, some kind of arthritic pain, and you need some comfort for all that discomfort. Go check it out, whether it's neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, elbow pain, knee pain. How about for your dogs? Front hips, back hips, you name it, man. Or front shoulders, back hips. They have all the treatment for the dogs too. Just 10 to 15 minutes daily, and that will help them also so they can live a little bit more pain-free and a little bit more comfortable. Go to redrecover.com, check out the blogs, check out the video blogs. Everything is there for you. And of course, use our code BIG-O so you can get 10% off. I promise you, it will make a difference. redrecover.com. All right. Steven Gonzalez says, Big O, how about that kid, Sandy? That's right. A superstar in the making. Just a shame ownership has no clue to put a winning team. Well, Steven, let's not say yet that the ownership has no clue, because considering where the minors were till now, they've got a lot of talent now on the team. You see a guy like Jazz and Sandy, those are homegrown stars of theirs. So it's not like they don't know, it's that they've got to spend. And so that's the question now. This is Sherman's 4th year of owning the team. So, and Kim Eng and company have already said that if they're close enough, they'd like to be buyers. So let's give them the opportunity before they do that. Right now, they have not shown us that they're willing to spend what you need in order to compete. But let's give them the opportunity. Let's find out now. We're going to find out here. We're going to find out leading up to this trading deadline and next year. You've got to, at one point or another, if you don't open it up this trading deadline here, then you need to open up the checkbook next offseason, because you've got enough players and you're hovering around 500. You need to go buy another player or two to really put yourself over the top. This is a really important time for Sherman. This is a great opportunity for him to prove that he can be a competitive owner in baseball. But their talent has gotten better. We have to give them credit there. Jeter and company did end up, reloading the minors. But, I don't want to hear about minor league. I want to hear about major league. So I'm with you there. I understand. But this is a really critical time now. This is year 4 and 5 coming up now. So you're in year 4, and next year, you've got to show me something. If you don't spend here in 4 or next offseason, then I'm with you that, yeah, he's definitely not the guy. Corporate time-stealing weasel was a favorite saying of Jim Mandich. Yes, it was. Okay, let's be real. Who's really going to get the star player first, Heat or Panthers? Oh, it would be the Heat. Yeah, I think the Panthers are cap-strapped. It's not that ownership won't spend. They've got great owners. They just have no wiggle room whatsoever. And that's the sad part about it. Big O, what does the Heat need to do to become champs? Because last year we really had it. They got to go get a Durant. They got to go get a Donovan Mitchell. They've got to go get a Bradley Beal. They've got to get a star. They got to get another star next to Butler, and then they'll have a shot. Yeah, staying healthy too. But they need that star. You got to get that star. Speaking of stars, and you just mentioned it, Sandy Alcantara was outstanding. 7 innings, 6 hits, no earned runs, 4 Ks, a 1.73 ERA. They end up splitting against the Mets, which is a progress for them because they don't win series against the good teams. They rarely ever do it. I think they did it against the Astros like 3 weeks ago or something. You know what I mean? But more often than not, they lose most of their series against the good teams. So for them to split over the weekend against the Mutts, that's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. They will start a set against the Pirates today. And you know what we're going to do right now? Yes. We are going to get into our liquor split matchup of the night.
It's time to tap that app. And no one loves to tap that app like the Big O. Here's the liquor split matchup of the night.
Roll, right? We were like, we did like 11 or 12 in a row and something like that. We've now lost 3 in a row. So we're 12-5 in our last 17 picks. Our last selection was a loss. Scherzer did pitch well that night. I told you to go against Scherzer against the Reds. And he did pitch well. They only allowed 1 run. The problem is they didn't score any runs. They lost 1-0 that night. Nick Lodolo and company ended up pitching better than Scherzer and company, because Scherzer and company only allowed 1 run and the other guys allowed no runs. So it was kind of tough luck on that one. So we dropped to 12-5 in our last 17. So we're going to snap that streak today. Today, I say, not tonight, because it's at 3:40. Okay, which is 12:40 our time. And it's the Pirates and the Marlins. Mitch Kohler is on the mound. He's 2-6 with a 5.21 ERA. And the Marlins have Trevor Rogers on the mound. 4-7 and a 5.57 ERA. And here's my problem. I can't trust Trevor Rogers. As much as I like the kid, I like his talent, it's been up and down, mostly down. And right now, the line going into this game, Marlins are favored by 1.5 runs. The over and under is 8 runs. You got 2 bad pitchers. The Pirates are plus 130. The Marlins are minus 155. Well, one of the things we talked about, and we won with the Pirates last time, what did we tell you? The Pirates can score some runs. And they continue to score runs. The Marlins don't score runs. And they have Trevor Rogers on the mound, who's sporting a 5.5 ERA. I'm going to take the Pirates plus 1.5 runs here. Even the Marlins, they could win, there's no doubt. But if they do, probably a one-run game. But I would not even be surprised that they lose this game to the Pirates, who won yesterday. I think they won yesterday 5-3 or something like that. So they scored their share of runs. And I think they'll score runs against Trevor Rogers because he cannot be trusted right now. Pirates, 1.5 runs. I'm going with the Patchmen over the Marlins, plus 1.5. That is our liquor split matchup of the night.
The matchup of the night is brought to you by Liquor Split, Miami's own online liquor store. Liquor Split. Download the Tap That app and get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split.
You know, Giovanni says, I saw the score updates of the Marlins game yesterday, and just by seeing the opponent with 0 runs, I knew who was on the mound, right? Yeah, Sandy's amazing. Let me tell you something about this also. This is the cool part about finding out about Sandy making the All-Star game along with Jazz. We're Marlins fans, at least those of us that are Marlins fans. I'm a Marlins fan. I love my Marlins, no matter how much heartbreak they put me through. This is the fun part. The All-Star game in baseball is the only All-Star game I watch. You can't pay me to watch the NFL Pro Bowl. You can't pay me to watch the NBA All-Star game. I could give a rat's ass about the NHL All-Star game. I don't care about any of those All-Star games. Nothing whatsoever. They don't interest me at all. Garbage. Pure garbage. Now, the baseball All-Star game, I've always loved that because it's the closest one to a real game. The rest are a joke. They just are. They don't take it serious. There's no defense or anything. The All-Star game in baseball is real. But here's the best part. I got 2 Marlins in it this year. Although you know what I haven't heard? Is Jazz even playing? Because he's not playing with the Marlins. I don't know how he's going to play. Will he be healthy enough by then? Maybe. Yeah. That happens sometimes. And I get it. Look, it's his first one, and first Bahamian player to make it. This is Sandy's second. But this is the cool part. Okay, so our team isn't great. Our team probably is not going to the playoffs. We don't know if Sherman's going to spend here leading up to the trading deadline to kind of put them over the top or try to put them over the top. Or it's like maybe Craig Mish says, it's really not worth going and spending because if you can't beat the good teams, just the one player that you had, is that really going to make the difference? Probably not. But what's fun is that Sandy could start, or if not, he's going to be one of the top pitchers coming out. And if Jazz does play, I mean, that's just it's not like this is the first time the Marlins have had all-star players. We've had them, and we've had Conine was an MVP of an all-star game as a Marlin. So we've experienced that. But my point is, it is super cool as a Marlins fan that you watch 2 of their homegrown products become all-star players. That's freaking awesome. So that part's fun about the Marlins. I like that. All right, it is past noon now. Let's get ready. We are into the final hour of the program. We got a bunch of things to talk about. Got some funny stuff too also that I want to talk about. Got a bunch of sports things overall to talk about. Let's take a quick break. Back with more right here. Hour number 3 on the Big O Radio Show.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
What? Oh, look.
Hey guys, this is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I'm partnering today with Red Recover. We're going to run you guys through some drills. I started using Red Recover last year, my 4th year in the NFL. It just helps me on Mondays after games, get my recovery process started, get back into the fold of the week, and get ready for the following Sunday. And if you want to recover like me, use Red Recover.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CS, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends. The viewing statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show's coverage of the NBA Summer League is brought to you by Edge Energy Drink. Go to myedgedrink.com and use the Big O and get 10% off an energy drink that's delicious, smooth, and has zero aftertaste. Only 78 calories. Go to myedgedrink.com. Sloman's Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Welton Rayom. With more than 62 years of litigation experience, they're the ones you want when you need to take on the insurance companies. Call Welton Rayom for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. The road trip continues with our coverage of the Slomans.com NBA Summer League. Live from Las Vegas, Sloman's Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Here's your host, Big O.
Alrighty. Thank you, as always, Sean Stanley, doing excellent work. We are out here in Las Vegas covering the Heat Summer League and other things, of course, and we've had some fun, too. I saw Morrissey 3 times last week, which was just absolutely amazing. If you're a Smiths fan and a Morrissey fan like I am, because I do love his solo catalog. I think his solo catalog is, I was thinking about this. I think Morrissey, the Smiths should be in the Hall of Fame. Like, they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they need to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Okay, they are just phenomenal act that we were cheated of, because if they would have come up with another 5 or 6, 7 albums, I'm sure they would have become this amazing monster. And the interesting part about the Smiths was they hated to do videos. And when they were doing their music, MTV was a monster, and they weren't creating videos for MTV, which would have helped them really take it to another level. Yet they are arguably the Beatles of the alternative music age in the 80s. When you talk about Depeche Mode and REM and all these other great bands from that era, New Order, whatever, the Smiths are probably considered like the creme de la creme out of all of them. The Cure, Echo and the Bunnymen, you name it, all those, it's probably the Smiths. And they easily should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I would also say that Morrissey should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. One with the Smiths, and he should be by himself, because he has had a magnificent career by himself. So to me, it's a really interesting, dynamic. And Saturday night when he did Shoplifters of the World, wow, that was too much, man. That was just absolutely too much when he did that. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. That was fun. So if you were a Smiths or a Morrissey fan, you would have enjoyed the last 3 nights that I went to for the concert. And it is amazing how people have to touch that man. I mean, about 30 people got on stage the first night, about 20, I would say, the second night. And I would say on Saturday night, about 15, although there was this one aggressive guy that he's the only one that got arrested because he was such an idiot. And he ran into the guitarist and everything. The videos are all there on my YouTube page at Big O Show. You can see some of them on my Instagram page also at Big O Radio Show. Okay. But yeah, interesting stuff. So we've had a good run so far already with the concerts, with the basketball going on. A lot of good things. Let's see. What do we have here? Big O, I heard Tom Brady's wife is best friends with Zach Wilson's mom. LOL. There you go. Wow, Red Recover can be used for dogs too. Yes, JG. Yes. So you can order Red Recover from anywhere. You can order a JG where you're at in Malaysia. He'll ship it off to Malaysia for you. So if you have a dog You can use it for the dogs, which is really important, especially, the back hips become a problem. If you have a German Shepherd, that's a really prominent issue for German Shepherds. You may want to use that. Yep. Too Extreme says, huge Morrissey fan here. There you go. Jafrad says, what was up with the people going on stage to hug him? That's always been like that since the 80s. It's one of those things. People gravitate to Morrissey. I believe personally, because Morrissey talks so much about life, about real situations, and he talks about his depression and all the things and he's very open about his depression and the things that he goes through. I think Morrissey is a guy that connects with a lot of people. I think it's not to say that all the people going up there on stage are people with pain, but I think that a lot of those people that are going up on stage are some of the people that deal with the same kind of pains that he talks about every day, that he deals with his everyday life. And so Morrissey is one of those guys. His lyrics, his music, what he says, he connects with people because he's so brutally honest. And they just feel like compelled to want to go touch him, to be in his presence and all that. And it's always been like that. And it's men, it's women, it's boys, it's girls, it's young, it's old. I felt so bad for an older lady in the third night on Saturday night. She got up on stage and she wanted to go over to Morrissey, but because she's not young and spry, because the young people pop up on stage and run right to Morrissey right away. And then they try to hug him, they try to touch him, they try to handshake, whatever, and Morrissey, to his credit, by the way, enormous amount in today's world, he is very giving and very trustworthy when he shouldn't be in today's world. And he'll hug the people, and he spends the entire concert, different songs, reaching down and shaking hands with people the entire time, dude. So he's really alert about all of that. He has awareness about, how much people want to connect with him. But you could go to our videos and you can see some of the crazy shit that happened in those 3 concerts. You got some highlights or lowlights or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, this is something he has lived with his whole life. That's always been like that on stage. Always gets mobbed. Really is amazing. He's a legend and welcomes fans to the stage for a hug and handshakes if they get past security. Yeah, if they get past. Yeah. Brian Doherty says, please, please, please let me get what I want this time. Lord knows it will be the first time. Yes, Brian, great song. Big O, I told you he'd sing Shoplifters. Yeah, I didn't think he would do it. And he did Suede Head the second and third nights. So if you went on Wednesday night, you didn't get Suede Head. So that was cool too. That was cool. The whole place went crazy when he did Suede Head. It was so good. JS1115 says, I'm thinking Vegas for my bachelor party. I've never been there, but Big O is convincing me. Well, yeah, I mean, Vegas is a great place for a bachelor party, man. You can have a blast. Everybody can have fun. You can gamble. You can go to shows, all kinds of stuff. If you're a strip club person, there's plenty of strip clubs to go to. I have yet to go to a strip club in Vegas, and I've been coming to Vegas for decades now. I'm 50 plus, and in the late 80s and early 90s, my favorite era of music. 87 to 93 was the greatest for music of all different kinds. I'm surprised no brawls were thrown. No, that usually doesn't happen. It's the connection with Morrissey is not a sexual thing. It's not a David Lee Roth, Elvis Presley, those kind of dudes that just Teddy Pendergrass, There are certain fellas that have come up on stage and the women just want to, they want to like have sex with these people right on stage. Those kind of dudes, yeah, they're there. But for Morrissey, I truly feel it's a human connection. Okay? It's not a sexual connection. It's just a personal connection. It's something that he wrote in a song. It's something that he said. It's something that he deals with, and they relate to it. That's the impression I get. And I don't know anybody that, went up on stage to hug him. I would love to ask that person. I have a feeling that they're going to tell you it's just I connect with Morrissey. I love him. I connect with him. I understand him. That kind of stuff. But it's not a sexual thing. That's different for some of those other guys. Yeah. Those women are throwing panties and bra. Tom Jones, they're throwing panties, bras. They're throwing up their cell phones. They're if he's at a hotel in a casino, hotel in Vegas, they're throwing up their room keys to Tom Jones. They're certain dudes. Forget about it. It's just, these women are just up there. They're ready to go. They're hot right from the second they walked into the building. I can tell you because as a child, my mom would look forward to the Tom Jones show like it was going out of style. Okay? Later on, as I got older, I then understood why she was so interested. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure if my mom had a chance to rape that man, she would rape that man over and over and over again. Okay? Just one of those things. You can tell. So, yeah. Love the Smith for years. I agree with you. Oh, these guys that go through struggles and suffering write songs, some of the best songs of our era. Yeah. Yeah, Sage. No doubt. Big O, how was the Saturday game? It was fun, man. I enjoyed it. But listen, I'm a sports junkie. Always have been. So I enjoy all these kind of things. I love the developmental stage of sports. A couple of years ago, remember, I'm the nutbag that was like, oh, I don't mind the teardown of the Dolphins. I love, rebuilding in the draft and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of a fan of that. But I loved what's going on in the Summer League. And as I said in the first hour, this is something that you have to definitely take advantage of if you can, if you're a basketball fan. Vegas is my spot. You can get in free to a lot of places if you talk to the right people, says John Padilla. Mike says, Zach Wilson is living in a Pornhub category mom's best friend. And the problem with that is it's admiration. It's pure respect. The people who are a Morrissey fan, it's a true fan. Yep. Don't waste your time at the strip clubs. Miami's unmatched. For me, it's just there's so much to do here. I don't really, the strip club thing doesn't really attract me or anything like that. And that's a lot of money you're going to spend. Listen, if you're a single guy, I totally understand it. Totally understand it. Yeah, we don't.
Maybe
But
we're doing a 2-hour show.
yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. You were editing till like 11 o'clock last night. But yeah, for me, it's not something that and you know how weird it is that I've never been to a strip club in the 30 plus years that I've been coming to this place. How weird is that? That's just not normal. I told my wife that. I said, I'm not the normal guy. I'm not going to the Bunny Ranch. I'm not going to strip clubs. And I'm not sitting at tables gambling away all my money. Oh, and I'm also not at a bar drinking away, my sorrows or happiness or whatever the hell people do to drink away. I told her I'm kind of boring. I gotta like hold up a bank or something. I gotta spice it up my life or something. Jesus. The hell am I doing in this life? I'm not going to strip clubs. I'm not gambling away my money. I'm not drinking. I'm not going to the Bunny Ranch, hanging out with Lamar Odom, doing all kinds of cocaine and almost dying. I'm boring, bro.
You rob the bank.
Yeah, you rob a bank?
Let me know so I'm not in the car.
You're not okay. You don't want to be the getaway driver? I need a getaway driver. Oh, yeah, I got to make sure I have gas. That's true. I'm going to need gas. I'm definitely going to need gas. That will be very, very, very important that I get a little gas. Okay.
The answer's 2. Samuel. How many visits in and out?
Rosendo says, you sound normal to me. It's not normal, Rosendo. People that go to Vegas, that's not normal. It's not normal. It's not normal that you'd rather go to the Pinball Hall of Fame than a strip club. It's just not normal. Jaffrard says, my mom loved Tom Jones too. Yeah, my mom would rape Tom Jones. Rape. It wouldn't be pretty. I could tell. I put it one together from back in the day, and that woman was just, she was going nuts, dude. So, question for Sean: has the women's division in WWE reached its peak, and is Vince now on the hot seat? Now on the hot seat? Did the women's? Well, you got to open up your mic there. You don't have a mic, so has it peaked? No, he says no. No, and Vince is piqued his interest on the women's.
He's always had his peak on the remember, the first lawsuit was from 1989.
Wow, 89, the first lawsuit. Wow. I mean, I hate to stereotype, but when I look at Vince McMahon, I'm not surprised, bro. I'm not surprised that he is. Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's different now. Yeah, definitely. Mike says, I lived the Smiths, The Cure, Depeche Mode for a long time in the 80s. John Padilla says, I'm only single in Vegas. Ha ha. There you go. Pat in Nashville says, in my humble opinion, strip clubs are a supreme waste of time and money. They're fun. You know what I mean? I'm sure guys have fun in it because I've gone to plenty of strip clubs in my day. And I've worked it also. So I think if you go with a bunch of fellas to go have some fun, watch a game, eat, whatever. But if you're, I knew a friend of mine that was actually going there to like socialize with the women. Yeah, that's a little creepy. Yeah. 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 Cruz Ruiz says, is a player that doesn't perform at his draft value for the team that drafted him a bad pick once his time with that team ends? If he goes to excel somewhere else, does that change if it was a bad pick? That's a great question. And no, it's not it doesn't end up becoming a bad pick. It just shows you that you had a bad organization that didn't know how to well, no, that's not true either, man. Because Cruz, you could draft a player that wasn't ready to mature. And, great example. God, what's his name now? The kid for Golden State that played for Minnesota. Wiggins, right. So Andrew Wiggins wasn't wanted by LeBron and sent off to Minnesota in that trade when they brought in Kevin Love, remember? And he kind of underachieved there in Minnesota. So was it a bad trade for Minnesota, or is just Minnesota kind of a shitty organization? I'll go with the latter, because he goes to Golden State and he's developed into a really nice player, one of the better defenders in the league, and he's actually developed a three, and he can do other things also overall. So Wiggins has become a good player, and he just wasn't living up to it in Minnesota. So you could draft a player that you did a piss poor job as an organization and he went and developed somewhere else. You could have drafted a player, not the case of Wiggins, but you could have drafted a player that was, let's say, immature, not your fault, but the player was immature. And then it took him a few years to mature, but he had to go somewhere else. And then eventually the maturity light went on and he went on to have a really good career. And so is it your fault? No, because you drafted the guy, you had the right eye on it. He did have the talent to become a good player, but he was too immature at the moment for you. He then understood what he had to do, and he became a mature player and then matured somewhere else. So there's different scenarios where we could call it a bad pick. We can call it a good pick. We can call it a good organization. We can call it a bad organization. So it all depends on the scenario that we're talking about. So you would have to tell me about a specific scenario with a specific player, and then we can determine, oh, no, that was a bust. That was a bad pick. Oh, no. He was a good player. They didn't know how to develop him. See what I'm saying? So, and you know that happens, Cruz, just like all of you that are watching, you know that each case happens in sports. So that's really why you can't necessarily always blame it on, oh, no, it was a bad draft pick. Sometimes there's more that goes into it. Maybe the draft pick didn't have the proper training, the proper coaches, the proper development, the proper atmosphere, the proper leadership around him. Maybe he lacked all those things around him, and it obviously contributed to his failure. And that happens all the time. Strip clubs get boring fast. I'm as boring as you, Big O. Yeah, it's just weird, right? I find it kind of weird that I don't do the normal things that this place is kind of known for. You know what I'm saying? What are the top 3 Morrissey songs you will recommend? Well, I mean, JG, are you talking to me like you're not a Morrissey fan and you want to get into it? Or are you talking to me like you're a Smiths fan and a Morrissey fan? You're just trying to find out what are my 3 favorites compared to your 3 favorites? I don't exactly. Are you, because like I would tell you, obviously, Suede Head is one of those songs that you can listen to right away and you'll fall in love with it. My favorite song is November Spawned the Monster. Okay? Kiss Me a Lot is a terrific song. That's another one that I would, tell you to listen to, but I don't know why you're asking me, but November Spawned the Monster, my Lord, what a great song that is. Will you be at the Bucks Dolphins joint practices? I don't think so. Not yet, at least. We shall see. At the moment, it doesn't look like it. By the way, myedgedrink.com for the finest energy drink on the planet. 78 calories. That's all. I wish I had some edge right now because I need it. Listen, we were talking earlier. Do you think if Bam can become that guy? Well, that's because I don't think he has that edge to become that star. You know what I mean? Right now, I need a little Edge energy drink after not sleeping well and waking up, unfortunately, at 2 a.m. when I wasn't supposed to wake up, and then having to go back to sleep. Right now, I could use a little Edge energy drink right now, John. John, can you send me some Edge? Here, please, John. John does a great job, man. He's the owner. He is just absolutely fantastic. Edge energy drink, delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. And folks, you go to myedgedrink.com. You can order it anywhere in the country. 10% off your order. Use our code Big O and enjoy the finest energy drink on the planet. I tell you about it all the time. Great elixir, too. Mix it up with your favorite vodka, your favorite rum. You're going to love it. Edge Energy Drink, myedgedrink.com. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. And here's the other thing. You could actually hand it off to people at home. Like when visitors come over and they need a soft drink, hand them an Edge Energy drink. They're going, what is this? And when they try it, they're going to go, wow, this is delicious. This is awesome. It has no aftertaste. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. It's only 78 calories? Oh, hell yeah. Try it. You will love it. Go to myedgedrink.com and try it. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. If I invested the money I blew in South Florida and Tampa strip clubs in the 80s and 90s, I would be a millionaire today. Big O, break up the family. There's a light that never goes out. I'm not sorry. There's just too many great songs. Yeah, but that's not the There's a Light That Never Goes Out is a Smith song, not a Morrissey song. He asked Morrissey, not Smith's. Okay? Difference there. I gave him Morrissey songs, not Smith songs. Big O, we need a special music show. Well, I had that planned before the pandemic. I don't know if we'll still do it because I have a concept that I want to do, and it's something that I think is really fresh and nobody does. So I had that planned. But hey, we can always talk music here. Every day is like Sunday. Yeah, man, that's a great song. And he did it. And he played it all 3 nights. Every day is like Sunday. Unless you are a Bucks season ticket holder media, you won't be able to see the Bucks Fins practice. My friends in Tampa trying to get me in with him. Oh, okay. Greetings from Jersey Shore, Big O. Love the show. Been watching since you went live on YouTube. Keep up the great work. What do you think the chances of re-signing New Jersey's own Gesicki long-term? We will find out 3/4 of the season in, my friend. If he fits and plays well in the scheme, they will re-sign him. This silly-ass story that they've got out there, it shows you how people don't follow the Dolphins. Because there was no surprise that there is no contract for him. There shouldn't be a contract for him, and we all knew there shouldn't be. You know it, and I know it. Most of us Dolphin fans know what was going on. Gesicki's coming back, and they got to try him in this new offense to see if he fits. And if he doesn't fit, then they won't re-sign him. And if he fits, they'll figure it out halfway 3/4 of the season, and then they'll extend him, and then that'll be one problem that they'll be freed up from. Big O, been discovering Metallica after Stranger Things. Oh, yeah. There you go. It got one of their songs into the top 100. Top 10, top 20, I think it was. Yeah, right? It was Masters of Puppet, if I'm correct, the song. Master. Big O, you're normal, bruh. I'm not a strip club guy, but all my homeboys are, though. That's what I'm saying. Most guys go. Like, you go to Vegas, and it's supposedly the strip clubs here are, like, pretty elaborate and stuff like that. Again, don't know. Haven't been to it. But, yeah. Big O, do you or have you done favorite song playlists? No. That would be a long-ass playlist. Metallica, greatest hard rock metal band of all time. Love that young people are discovering them now thanks to Stranger Things. Yeah. It is cool. It is cool that they're finding out about them now. But I mean, the good thing is that they're all finding out about good music now. And that's the other thing, that say what you want, but there's a reason why they go back to the music of the past, because the music of the past is better than, in general, everything that's going on in the present. And young people are realizing it more and more as they take the time to learn about the music of the past. Then they get to appreciate that a little bit more. So I think that's kind of what's gone on throughout all of this. What else do we have here going on? By the way, Inter Miami lost to Orlando City over the weekend on an own goal. Would you say that that's an all-time low? Did you pick up on what I did there? What did I do? What did I do? You don't know. Oh, no. I said that it's an all-time low that they lost 1-0. Damian Lowe with an own goal. Now, Sean, I want you to know that I know that on Saturday, you wish you weren't here in Vegas covering the Summer League and hanging out, that you wish you were doing that game in a 2.5 hour rain delay. Boy, those are the things that yes, I'm being facetious. Boy, those are the things that I don't miss whatsoever. Okay. I in the first place, I wasn't really big on the pre and post game stuff. I was doing it only the plan was I was only going to do it the first 2 years and then just hand it off to Dono and never do it again. Unless Donald had to go out on vacation or something and I had to fill in for him or something. But I did not, those are things that I did not want to have to do. Because, when you work with the team, then you've got to kind of, and I didn't, and that's not me. I'm not the kiss ass type. That's just not, I'm not that dude. But I saw the 2.5 hour rain delay. I didn't watch it, but I read about it and I'm like, man, so glad I'm no longer in that mix. So glad. So glad. Oh. Now, hopefully, Alejandro Pozuelo and Coco Jean change things, because since they can't score with a fistful of dollars in a whorehouse, maybe now they can actually start to, get a couple of goals going. Would be really, really nice. So, Dwayne Brown, the offensive tackle, who's a free agent, okay, was arrested in the airport. This is like amazing. He got caught with a gun in his bag. How do you take a gun to the airport? Yeah. And I'm sorry, those mistakes they're not acceptable. Oh, I forgot. What do you mean you forgot? You don't pack your own bag? You didn't check it? So free agent tackle Dwayne Brown unsigned this year after the Seahawks contract ran out. So Brown was arrested at LAX airport on Saturday, roughly at 2 p.m. local time. He allegedly tried to go through security with a gun in his luggage. He's charged with possession of a concealed firearm, and he's currently being processed at the LA jail. The 36-year-old, well, whatever, the rest of this stuff doesn't matter. I love when they go to the history of the player. Oh, well, he was a Pro Bowler here, and he spent 10 years there, and he had this many tackles and this many pancake blocks and this and that. This moron, and you are a moron, any of you out there that go through security with a weapon, you're a moron. You're a moron for not checking your bag. You're a moron if you did put it in your bag. You're a moron if you didn't know it was in the bag. You're a moron if you knew it was in the bag. You're a moron if you tried to get it through security. Either way, you're a moron. And Dwayne Brown, you're a freaking clown. Like every other person. And please don't tell me I forgot. I didn't realize. It's, why do you even have to tell? That's the sad part. Like when you go to a place like you're going through that or something else, and they have to tell you no firearms, no. It's like, really, we have to tell you this? And in Dwayne Brown's case, it doesn't matter if you have to tell him. His stupid ass is still going to end up with a gun in his bag and still get arrested. I mean, you are one dumb ass mofo if that's what you're doing. Seriously, you are a king size idiot if you end up with a gun in your bag. Wow. So apparently they were playing celebrity golf over the weekend. Anybody watch that? Tony Romo ended up winning the American Century Championship Celebrity Golf Tournament. So you know who was there also? Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers took the time, very nice of him, to take some pictures with the fans. But the fans noticed something about Aaron Rodgers, and they were questioning Aaron Rodgers. So let's show you what they were questioning. Because he took a picture with some fans, and when you look at those eyes and you focus in on it, I don't know if you can enlarge this to make it look even bigger. You can, unfortunately. No? Well, his eyes are red as hell. So a lot of people think he was stoned out of his mind. What happened? Oh, I see now. I see how it disappeared. Watch out, man. We might catch you watching your porn.
No, it's on a different browser.
Oh, that's a different browser. Okay, smart job by you. Nice. Nice. I like that. There you go. That's a little bigger there. No? Okay. All right. If you look close enough, his eyes are bloodshot red. I mean, it's just, you can go to that person's Twitter page too, and you can check it out. Now, I'm not much of a golf guy. When I go, I do drink some beers. So I'm just wondering, do you play better when you're high? I get it. I guess in his case, he must be comfortable doing it. Kind of love that, man. Gonna hit it for sure. By the way, Sloman's Home Security is a proud sponsor, as you all know, right here. They are sponsoring our week out here at the Vegas Summer League. And right now, folks, we are giving away a free doorbell camera, 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you. A free doorbell camera. And what you're going to love about that doorbell camera, it connects directly to your smartphone. Even here in Vegas, I know everything that's going on in my home. That's pretty cool. Whoever shows up at the front door, the back door, whatever's going on inside the house, I've got vision to everything going on. So whether somebody's home or not, I'm always in contact. And that doorbell camera, it is a savior for you. Because if you don't want to talk to the person, you don't have to go to the door. You don't have to go over to the door and then find out or tiptoe over to the door and then try to look into the peephole without them seeing you. No, dude. All you got to do is pull up the phone, check out the camera, you see who's there, and you say, oh, that's my delivery. Let me go get it. Oh, that person's selling something. I don't want to talk to them. 1-800-ALARM-ME. And when you use our professional installation and our low-cost central station monitoring, not only are we going to give you the doorbell camera, but you're also going to get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-arm doors, and a backup battery. 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME. All right. I love it. By the way, what the hell happened to Nick Kyrgios? That dude lost it yesterday. Did you guys see that? He was battling with his own people. Oh, now you're supporting me? You weren't supporting me before. And I'm not sure if he has like any mental issues. It seems like he does. I don't mean to make any light of it. I don't know if he does or not. I'm speaking completely out of ignorance. But that did not seem normal yesterday. That was not normal behavior. That was abnormal to even losing it. Because I watched John McEnroe, and he would lose it, but this guy was like, this was in his head. And he brought it all in there too. It wasn't like somebody was going after him and insulting him and trying to try him and all. No. He brought it all to himself. That was a strange one yesterday with Kyrgios. But hey, congrats to the Joker, 21st Grand Slam, 4 straight now overall at Wimbledon. Guy's one of the greatest of all time. No doubt about that. But Kyrgios, brother, you got a long way to go to grow up. All right, let's talk a little Dolphins with Marcel Louis Jacques and our Edge energy drink Miami Dolphins report.
Time to get the edge on the Miami Dolphins with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report. When you want the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste, you can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com. Here's the ESPN Dolphin insider Marcel Louis Jacques.
Right. There he is.
Here I am.
Yeah.
Appreciate the patience. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. Some guy here, and I'm interested to get your point of view on this. Says that's kind of my problem with the Brittany Griner thing. I'm sure Russia's making an example of her, but why put yourself in that position? How could you have anything in your bag like paraphernalia? That's true. They're going to make her an example, and they're going to want to use her as trade bait for some scumbag that like a real criminal that we have here for somebody that had a vape pen or whatever the hell, which is just ridiculous.
It's easy to say from the other side, and hindsight is 20/20 always. But at the same time, man, like accidents happen. I've flown with a vape pen by accident before. Like things are in your pocket.
Yeah, but she wasn't. I don't think that one was by accident. That one was.
It's not like she had a pound on her. It's not like she had a brick in her suitcase.
I'm not criminalizing her for that bullshit. I mean, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Bro. Weed is crap. But if you're traveling to China, North Korea, Cuba, Russia, what other country am I missing? You're going to one of those places, bro. You need to walk the finest of straight lines in your life. And so, yeah, she deserves some blame to put herself in that position. That was dumb. You know what I mean? But now, unfortunately, she's going to be a pawn.
I'm not going to, of course, she might warrant a crumb of the blame, but I'm not willing to say well, sucks for you, shouldn't have done that, and then stop caring. It's still she's being treated.
You can't stop caring.
The response to this over a minuscule amount of
it's stupid. But for
condensed
them,
marijuana, concentrated marijuana, it is.
But for them,
it's asinine for Russia to be doing that.
But for them, it's a ploy, and they get to
it's 100%.
You know what I mean? And listen, she's not the only one. There's some other Americans in there too that have been there longer than her. And they're not, and that's another problem that's developed out of that, because those people are complaining like, hey, nobody's talking about our people there, and Brittany's getting all the pub because she's famous, and they're not. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So it's a really difficult situation, man. Here's the strangest part about it all. If Putin had a brain and he wanted to win a PR game, just a little PR game, his Russian athletes are not being allowed to play in Wimbledon and other places now, right? He could have used this as a ploy, like, hey, we may have our issues and our problems, but athletes aren't part of this, and we're not going to hold Brittany Griner here for this or anything like that. She's an athlete. She didn't mean anything bad by it. We're not going to mistreat her, this and that. And people shouldn't be treating Russian athletes because of political issues. We're going to do the same with Brittany. He could have actually spun that to help his Russian athletes, actually.
Probably.
I thought of that, but, obviously that
would require him to care about his
exactly people. about a human being, about his own people too, by the way, which he doesn't even mention about his own people. So yeah, I see you were at a golf tournament there.
Yeah, it was
the real question I have for you, was Rachel Bush there?
She was not, at least not that I saw. No.
Well, then it's not worth going to the golf tournament. But go ahead.
Would have been interesting, because I have social media history with Rachel Bush that's not entirely positive. So that would have given us a chance to.
Well, she's kind of boisterous. Yeah, I know she.
Talk it out face to face. But I have a good relationship with Jordan Poyer, dating all the way back to Buffalo. Covered him for a couple seasons. So
she's a smoke show, boy.
Good seeing him.
Smoke show.
To each their own. But
smoke show.
Saw Tua. Tua's actually golfing with Poyer. They're in the same group. Got to remember to ask how that turned out, because I know Poyer is actually really good.
Tua and who?
Tua and Jordan Poyer were golfing in the same group. I know Poyer's like a 9 handicap or something insane. So we'll see how that ended up with Tua there. But
QB, as you know, QBs and kickers are usually your best players.
Yeah, I think he taught himself. Both of them taught themselves how.
And that's all hand-eye coordination stuff, usually. And there's this touch. Kickers too, since they got a stroke with their leg, it's kind of one of those things that they just,
it's one of those where you just have pitchers.
Baseball players also make a nice transition to golf because the swing this way is a lot like the swing the other way too. You know what I mean?
There's subtle differences though. You know what I mean? Like you can't just swing hard like you do at a baseball.
No, but the spinning of the wrists are kind of the same way too in golfing and in baseball, where you have a little bit of your spinning of the wrists. There's a lot of similarities to it, is what I'm saying. It's not exactly the same, but if you notice some of the athletes that turn into good golfers, you look at where they play, and a lot of them are, quarterbacks or kickers or
core, anything that requires your core to turn and torque.
Yeah.
That's
and touch and and hand-eye coordination, that kind of stuff. Even though the kicker is not hand-eye, but it's still kind of it's still kind of one of those things. That's always, by the way, that's always been my theory on why the United States of America only develops world-class goalies for decades now, and at the soccer level, world-class. We've had guys that have gone and played in Europe all over the place. Now we're starting to develop maybe some forwards and all that. I wouldn't say world-class, but we're starting to get there. But why do we develop world-class goalies for many, many years? Because all American sports require hand-eye coordination. So that's where we have an advantage. That's why our goalies are usually pretty damn good in soccer.
I think if we really put our time and resources into youth soccer academies and had kids playing soccer instead of football, that the USA could be among the elite in the world at this sport.
Amen. Amen. Our best athletes are starting to play soccer now. So we're starting to get some of those, but our elite athletes are still playing the American sports.
And there's not really a whole lot of incentive to do that. Like if you're a parent and you know that your athlete is your child is going to be a spectacular athlete, Dame Lillard just signed a 2-year, $120 million extension.
Yeah,
NFL money is getting there. Like there's not really a whole lot of incentive. The MLS money and soccer, at least in stateside, is not there yet.
Yeah, but you have more places to get money from in soccer than you do in any individual sport. So you have now you have more opportunities than ever. Now there's the real problem is the money that it takes to raise a soccer, baseball, and hockey player nowadays. That's really the problem. Football, it doesn't take that much. It's not as bad. And you don't have all the traveling teams and all that stuff in football. You just go to, high school and you're fine and you'll move on.
Also, kind of curious, where does
hockey, tennis, soccer, and baseball? Oh my God, those parents spend a lot of money. Holy shit.
And where are lacrosse? Where are these sports being played? Like you don't see, I think that there's a consistent demographic in which youth soccer academies are formed.
Right.
And if there were a way, I don't have the answer to it. I'm just highlighting an issue. If there were a way to extend that into certain communities where a lot of our best athletes come from,
right,
then who knows what our soccer team could look like in the future.
Yeah.
But and it's not just that. It's not just soccer. It's like you said. There's hockey. What about lacrosse, golf, tennis? Like it's expensive, but that's a cover. It's a cover that it's expensive because it doesn't have to be. Like it doesn't have to. You get football is a ton of equipment and even more expensive in terms of insurance for insurance to in regards to like organized team activities. And that's in Black communities. That's in minority communities. We're not having the trouble playing football. Like I wouldn't be surprised if soccer was cheaper to play than football is in terms of outfitting a team.
Yes, but not to travel. That's the problem with soccer. That's where the money comes. Is that the soccer, you got to be part of travel teams, and that's a boatload of money, man, for parents. I feel bad for some parents. Have kids that are talented enough to play a bunch of sports, and they don't have the money to put those kids through travel hockey, travel baseball, travel soccer. Oh God, that's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. And then you got to wait till the kid gets to high school, and then they've missed out on a lot of playing time to kind of sharpen those skills. All right, you told me you have a funny story coming out of.
Yeah, it actually has. I will add though that I mean, America, we have figured it out in one regard. Like our women's team is a class of their own. I want to say world class, but I mean league of their own. So the formula is there. The recipe is there.
In soccer, they've caught up now. We're not as dominant as we were in soccer. They have caught up to us in soccer. In basketball, we're still
close the gap.
We're still the creme de la creme, but in soccer, they've closed the gap on us, man.
I don't think it's reverse. Like women's team lost last year. They had to battle it out last time. What was it? The Olympics. Like I think that closed the gap and caught up completely are not exactly the same. I think they narrowed the gap. I don't think they caught up. So now, okay, instead of losing 6-0, you might only lose 4-0.
You mean you talk about in soccer?
Yeah.
In soccer? No. I think they've caught up to the ladies. The ladies aren't an automatic shoo-in anymore in soccer. But we'll see.
We'll see.
All right. So, what funny story do you have?
Has nothing to do with football or my job. So I was on vacation, right? A couple weeks ago. I was in the Bahamas. At the lobby of our resort, my AirPods fell out of my pocket. Fell into the chair. I had the little city boy shorts on, pockets aren't good. And I realized they were missing the next morning and tried to track them through the resort. I saw one headphone was here, one headphone was there, but they were still in the building. And eventually I think they died. So I was like, all right, I can't do this anymore. Like I go to the front desk and ask, and they're like, look, man, if somebody returns them, like it's over. Like you're never seeing them again. I said, fine. Last week, they popped up in Fort Lauderdale, but they pop up at like 10 p.m. And so I was ready to go over there. I was actually on my way over there. And I was told by multiple sources to not. So I didn't. And figured, okay, they're going to use them at work, right? They're going to use them somewhere. They're going to pop up again. And then I will pull up in broad daylight. Haven't been used since. So today I'm in Fort Lauderdale for this golf tournament. I figured, let me just stop by that house and see what's going on. So I stopped by the house. It's an Airbnb, completely empty. I see a neighbor who just pulled in. I said, hey, what do you know about this house over here? I had some property that popped up in here. Oh, yeah, that's Penny's house. Hold on. Like, I know the guy who cleans their house. Let me call her and see if they know. And so I hear him on the phone talking like, hey, so who was there? Oh, they were just in the Bahamas. Oh, I was like, oh, we got him. We got him. And so the woman eventually asked for my number. She called me and was trying to get her daughter, because I guess they're in Bahamas with their kids. So trying to get her daughter on like the phone, the three-way. And finally she's like, oh my God, I am so sorry. My kids found them and they said that, if they turned them into the front desk, they didn't think you'd ever see them again. So they brought them with them. And then there was no way to get them back to you when they're in the States. So they just took them. Like, they're not thieves. They're not, I promise, it's okay. And I was like, I'm on the phone like, I really don't care. I just really want my stuff back. Right, I don't care if they're thieves. They're good people. They put them in there. It does not matter to me at all. I just want my stuff back.
Well, you got to love the technology behind it, at least, that you're
right. Like, come on, man. I feel like I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm Geraldo Rivera. I'm an investigative reporter, detective, man, like asking neighbors, what do you know about this here house? I tracked the property to this. So they're sending them back, was profoundly apologetic. I do know they're on lost mode. So if they try to connect them to their phone, my phone number popped up at some point and they consciously decided not to call me.
Not to call you, right.
And not to mention, it's been 6 days since they popped up. They haven't been just lugging around dead AirPods for 6 days. I know they reset them, factory reset. They've been using them. Like, you tried. That's fine. You made your play, but I also made mine. So I want my stuff back.
Right.
So that is, I was dealing with that on my way back from Fort Lauderdale. I figured this was my shot, and almost made it back in time. But yeah, man, God is good. Great day today.
That is good, man. Because those things, they're like $150, $200, right?
$250, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they're not cheap.
They're talking about you might just want to get new ones. You get new ones, bro. I'm not talking about $250 headphones again.
Yeah, no. If you can get them back, you get them back, bro. What are you, crazy? $250 don't grow on trees.
Why have the tracking device on here if I can't find them when they're lost? Like, it's the whole point. But like, what are the odds? Like, you thought you got away with some. You thought you just came up with some headphones, and you just so happen to be all the people that go to Bimini. You just so happen to turn them on 30 minutes away from where the owner of those headphones resides, and then you still thought you got away. They're in Tennessee right now. You still thought you got away, and then moms gets a call on a Monday morning. Shoot, man. I hope you get grounded. She was nice though. The mother was an angel. It's the kids, like you said, kids these days, man.
Right. It's just, yeah, man. What are you gonna do, bro? It's kids. I mean, it is.
I'm gonna get my stuff back. That's all I'm gonna do. I wasn't going in there, gun in hand, banging on the door. I wasn't calling the SWAT team. I was just like, I want my things back. That's all I want. I don't want to press charges. I want to do this. I don't want to do that. I just want my shit back.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you there. What are you expecting from the Baker Mayfield move to Carolina? When you saw that, what'd you think of it?
Again, it doesn't move the needle. It doesn't move the needle for Carolina. It gives them a top 10 quarterback in the conference, but the conference is extremely weak at that position. It doesn't make them better than the Buccaneers. It doesn't make them better than the Saints. So I don't think that they're moving very far in their own division, which means they're not going to make the playoffs. It's just like it is a team that habitually picks up placeholders over the past 3 seasons or so. Like, bite the damn bullet and get a real quarterback. Like, I understand that. I understand why they wanted Deshaun Watson. I don't condone it, but I understand why they were going so hard after him. And honestly, like, I had people from the Panthers organization asking me for Deshaun Watson's family's contact info during that whole trade saga. Like, that's how desperate they were. But it also shows you how damn far away they were from actually landing him. If you've got to go to a reporter who hasn't been there for 4 years to ask for his family's contact info, then they never had a real shot. So it is a desperate organization right now.
Oh, yeah, no.
That is where we are with this Baker Mayfield trade. But
that they have no choice. They're so desperate at this point. I got to tell you something. If I'm them, I probably would have waited a little bit more and done Garoppolo instead of Baker. For me personally, I think he's the better passer out of the two guys. I know he has trouble staying healthy and he has trouble with that clutch play. But with Baker, he's not good enough of an athlete, and I just think he's kind of limited a little bit at times. And so, to me, this is just one of those gambles out of pure desperation that is just going to get everybody fired, basically.
Yeah. I mean, like, what are the stipulations for Rule this year? If you're David Tepper, what are you telling Matt Rule you need to do? You need to win 8 games? Do you need to be in the hunt, the wild card hunt? Do you need to make the playoffs? Because if that's it, you might as well start packing out.
Right.
Like, they're not good enough. That doesn't move the needle enough. There is talent on this roster. There's talent on both sides of the ball. They just don't have a quarterback to orchestrate it. And maybe don't even have the head coach to do it either. Like, I think Matt Rule is a good program builder in terms of what he did at Temple and what he did at Baylor. That doesn't always translate to NFL, though. You know what I mean? Like, you might be good at rallying kids together and recruiting. It changes a little bit when they're grown men in the locker room that are making more money than you. So, we'll see what happens, but I'm not blown away by it. I don't think it really changes anything. Honestly, and it sucks for the Browns because this means Jacoby Brissett's for sure playing quarterback for you. And you're losing every game Jacoby Brissett plays.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm with you there. I'm with you there. All right. What are you working on over on ESPN, my man? So Dolphin fans can check you out.
I mean, tomorrow I'm about to be working on my backswing, working on my driver, working on my new wedge set. We're still in that down period until training camp starts on the 26th. So this is, like I said before, it's more of a refreshing period for me, watching film that's applicable from last season and watching some Niners film from last season, knocking out a couple of feature pieces. Like I said before, I've got a couple things in the works that until they really materialize, I don't want to put out into the world yet. But if they do materialize, it's going to be things that I'm excited to work on. But yeah, man, enjoying just the last calm before the storm starts, because this storm is coming, man. It's hurricane season, right?
Yep. Can't wait, baby. You'll be covering that Super Bowl in February. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll see. I wouldn't mind either way. I mean, it's a win-win, right? Either I'm covering the Super Bowl in my old college state.
Dolphins in the Super Bowl is what you're going to be covering. So I'm just saying.
That is the only reason I would go to the Super Bowl, yes.
Well, that's the only reason to go to a Super Bowl is because the Dolphins are there. Come on, what's wrong with you?
And you know what? And if they're not, then that means that I'm in Miami in February.
No, there's no if they're not. They're there, okay? Don't start with the if stuff, okay? Don't start polluting the waters here, okay, Marcel? We're going to the Super Bowl.
Hey, that is not my job. If ESPN wants to tack on a couple more grand a year to say that the Dolphins are Super Bowl contenders, then they pay me. But right now they pay me to tell the truth. And let's make the playoffs.
And the truth is they're going to the Super Bowl. That's the truth, isn't it?
In order of goals you should be aiming for as a Miami Dolphins organization, make the playoffs, then win your division, then win a playoff game, and then we could talk about the Super Bowl. But until any of those four things have happened, I don't want to hear about step 4.
All of it is going to happen this year. They're going to win playoff games, games, and they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and then Disney's going to buy the movie rights, and you'll see it on Disney Plus in 2025.
Why not? Why not? Instead of Ted Lasso, it'll be Mike McDaniel. That's it. That's what it's going to be. All right? Ted doesn't look like a coach. Mike doesn't look like a coach, yet they're both winners. It's a beautiful thing.
Ted Lasso doesn't win shit, though. Like, that is one thing we don't talk about. It's a great show.
He did win. They're going to get elevated to the next to they're in
they got promoted.
They got promoted to the main league, bro. Come on,
but did they win the championship league, or were they just promoted? Because it's top 2 teams.
They got promoted. That's winning. When
you're top 4, I don't know how that works, man.
When you've been relegated and you get promoted, that's a win, bro. Come on, give the man, give Ted Lasso some credit when he's due it, bro. Come on. Wrong with you?
He took a Premier League ready team from the Championship League back to the Premier League, and that is after starting the season with 7 straight draws. So,
impressive. Pretty impressive.
You got Danny Rojas and I almost said Jamie Vardy and Jamie Tart up front. Like, and Sam Obasanya, who's apparently midfielder of the year. Like, there's too much talent for them to be drawing and losing in the damn Championship League. Like,
football is life,
and sometimes death.
Football is life. Okay.
Yeah, I need season 3 to come out. We just rewatched it, and I rewatched it. My girlfriend watched it for the first time and loved it. So we need season 3 expeditiously. Let's go, Apple.
I gotta say, I gotta give the tall blonde lady some props. I tell you, she's one hell of a body she's got.
She is a woman. The character development is what I care more about. The character development.
Great character development, but I just gotta say, great curves in that woman. So
I will not say that. I'm gonna leave that to you.
Hey, I'll take it. No problem. I'll cross the finish line. How's Rachel Bush? All right. Anyway, we'll catch up with you later on in the week, my brother. We appreciate you as always. Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ and catch his work there at ESPN.
All right. I'll see you Thursday.
Appreciate you. You got it. There's nothing like making any of these guys uncomfortable, right? Ira, Marcel. It's always awesome to make them uncomfortable. That is Marcel Louis Jacques, baby, and our Edge energy drink, Miami Dolphins, with no Miami Dolphins report in it.
You now have the edge on the Miami Dolphins with the Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins Report featuring ESPN's Marcel Louis-Jacques. Get the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste. You can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com.
I loves it. Pat in Nashville says, man, I'm like a beaten dog. I expect millions of injuries of Hill, new O-line, and a terrible start to the season. I have Dolphin PTSD. If Christian McCaffrey played all 17 games this year, maybe the Panthers win 7 if everything breaks right for them. Be a lot. Mike McDaniel, a.k.a. Napoleon Dynamite. Bengals jump from step 0 to step 4. No reason teams like Miami and the Chargers can't do the same. No, not the Chargers, but Miami, yes. Not the Chargers, but Miami, yes. Marcel is a good guy. He's a great guy. He's awesome. Oh, Marcel mentioned watching the show with his girlfriend. It's why he's talking about the woman's character development and not her body. Yep. Big O, you fly first class? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I fly first class all the time. Yeah. I'm lucky if I can hang on to the wing, bro. What are you talking about? All right, when sports and business collide, we love doing one thing, and it's called the KSDT CPA Sports Business Report. All right. Here we go. This is actually interesting stuff because it's kind of groundbreaking in a sense. They've done it before, but it's something that hasn't been done in a while, and they needed to kind of resurrect it. And it's really important for the sport. Well, two-time Olympic gold medalist and former WNBA and MVP Breanna Stewart unveiled her signature shoe with Puma on Friday, the first such partnership in more than a decade. Listen to that, in women's professional basketball. The Seattle Storm forward said she hoped that the Stewie 1 shoe will help pave the way for more exclusive shoes in women's basketball, with lucrative deals often falling to the men's side. One of the biggest selling points was Puma is going to obviously continue to invest in women's basketball, try and not only level the playing field between men and women's basketball, but make it better, the two-time NBA champion told Reuters. Puma declined to provide details of the value of Stewart's deal with the company, but said that the shoe would be available in North America in the fall. The biggest thing for me was the signature shoe, especially since it's been over a decade since women's basketball had a signature shoe to continue the kind to get where we want to be as a sport, said Stewart. The deal comes as the 27-year-old former first-round pick is in her prime, selected as an all-star for the fourth time this year after 2 Achilles surgeries made her miss a chunk of her early career. She leads the NBA with an average of 21 points per game, and she also has no plans to slow down anytime soon, particularly after welcoming daughter Ruby with her wife Marta in August. Especially being a mom, I have a different perspective of what I do because I have another set of eyes always watching me. So this is actually really cool for women's basketball. Look, I'm a guy that's pro sports, pro women's sports. And I know where it's at. It's a niche sport. Okay. And it's even more niche than hockey or baseball or soccer in this country, because soccer is not niche in the rest of the world, but it is here. And so I understand, I covered the Soul when we had a WNBA team. I've always been positive about women's sports, but I do know where it's at. There's no interest, and it's grown, but it really doesn't really command. And Sean brought up something the other day, and he goes, they've got the women's All-Star game going on this weekend, but they've also got the Summer League. And the Summer League is just crushing, women's regular season and All-Star game. And that's the problem. The freaking Summer League. Everything coming out of the Summer League is crushing the WNBA. And why? Because women's sports have not gotten to the point where they matter to the general public. Women's soccer, Olympic soccer, because I went to go see the Magic Jack. I covered them a couple times in Boca, and most people didn't know we had some of the best players in the world playing in our backyard. They had a couple benches there for some fans to sit down for a few people because they knew they weren't going to get crowds. And that's women's soccer. But on the Olympic side, we'll fill stadiums for the women's teams. So we've shown some interest. I remember when I was doing onside radio, and I had a host that was doing a soccer show, and she was really interested into women's soccer, but she didn't understand radio. And so she did back-to-back segments of women's soccer. And I pulled her aside and said, you can't do that. She got all personal. But I'm passionate about it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't move the needle. You can't do 2 straight segments of hockey and 2 back-to-back segments of baseball and 2 back. It doesn't matter women's soccer. It's certain sports. You can't do 2 straight segments in radio of that. You'll kill your audience. They'll all tune out. And that's where we're at with women's sports. That's why it's big to get a shoe deal for them, because maybe young girls growing up will start to follow their idols, and maybe they'll start to buy those shoes. And if the shoe companies can see that, then they can reinvest into women's sports. And maybe we can make it to the point where women don't have to go overseas to make more money. That tells you how much women's sports don't matter in this country. You can go overseas to play and make way more money in basketball than you could in the WNBA. That's why Mickey Harrison eliminated the Soul, because he wasn't making a penny. He was losing. Because a lot of those WNBA teams aren't cutting profits. They're supported by their NBA counterparts. And unfortunately, that's where we're going to be with women's sports, until somehow or another we get to the point that, the All-Star game yesterday ended with fouls, with the slam. She ended it with a dunk. I've always said this about women's basketball. And I know that some women will get a little bothered by this, but it is what it is. I'd lower the basket. I'd lower the basket about 8 to 10 inches and make it where the game is high flying a little bit more, and more women can dunk. And if you can play a game a little bit above the rim, a little bit more, I think you would attract more of the general audience. But by the time we get women to play above the rim in 10 feet, man, we're 50 years from something like that. You have to get enough women to grow that tall to be able to do. That's tough, man. It's tough. But this is a really good move for women's basketball, for women's sports in general. Hopefully it'll build something more down the line and more revenue for them too, to do what they love. That is your KSDT CPA Sports Business Report.
This has been the KSDT Sports Business Report. KSDT CPA is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax and accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit online at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
All right. Let's see. Got me laughing. Good looks. Yeah. It was just fun to get Marcel uncomfortable. That's kind of my job. It's always fun to make all these guys uncomfortable with certain things that I know that they're not going to go in those areas. Me, I go everywhere. It doesn't matter. I'm always willing to go to stretches that others aren't. Robert Triana saying hello to everybody out there. Did you see Steph Curry? I'm really happy for Steph in a way because Steph Curry is a guy that has been through hell and back. He has suffered all kinds of injuries. He started his NBA career with a ton of injuries that it got to a point that we were looking at him going, man, he's thin, he's fragile, he can't stay healthy. Is this a problem for years to come with him? And he overcame it. And then recently had, that hand injury and all of that. But yet throughout all of that, he was able to build a team along with the Warriors to get to a title and win it all. Him, along with Clay, along with Draymond Green and company. And then they added Durant, and they took their great team to a super team level, and they won 2 more. Then Durant, obviously, never happy with anything, has to move on, and moves on to Brooklyn, obviously a disaster, and we'll see where he goes next. But for Steph Curry, he went through some rough times and, again, fought through all the adversity and was able to win a title again this year. His 4th title, his 2nd title without Durant. So now he's won 2 with his guys and 2 adding Durant, right? So they were asked about, or he was asked about the Kevin Durant trade. And he said the rumor mill and all that stuff is part of the nature of the NBA and the league. You take it for what it is. You know how quickly things can change. But I like where we're at. So it was kind of a way of, shutting all that down. Not that he's really going to say, I would love to trade for Durant right now, because that's not a good look for the rest of his teammates. And they just won the title. But I like him saying that he likes where they're at because, for Durant, dude, you had your chance. You had no reason to leave Golden State. You're an idiot for leaving Golden State and going to that mess in Brooklyn and dealing with that for 4 years. You're a moron. Okay? You brought that on yourself. You had no business to leave. You should have just stayed there, rehabbed, got healthy, and get back on the court and have a great time with those guys and finish out your career. But that's what I want for Curry. Why would you want Durant back? You played that game already. It's done. You won one without him. Now you want another one without him. Go get your 3rd without Durant. Go increase your own legacy. Because by bringing Durant back, it starts to take away from your legacy. Plus, here's the thing. While I hope it's the Heat next year winning the title, I am intrigued to see where Klay Thompson is because he only played half a year and he was coming back from all those devastating injuries. Now he'll have the whole offseason and everything. I think you'll see the real Klay next year. And I think that's going to be a real boost to that team. So if I'm Curry, I'm just like them. I'm fine with where I'm at. I'm good. I'm moving on with my guys. Don't need any other outside help. Plus, you watch some of their. Did you watch James Wiseman the other day in the summer? And I know it's a summer league, but good for him. He was out with injuries over a year now. He came back and he's supposed to dominate in summer league. That's exactly what he did. He dominated and kicked their ass. So Looney, Poole, they know how to develop players. They don't need KD. They need to move on without KD. Good for Steph Curry. I like that one. I like that one, kid. Move on. You don't need their help, man. You're a champion in your own right. I like how Big O covers the Heat in Vegas. Thank you, sir. We cover the Heat in Vegas. Sean Stanley and myself. Okay? And we thank Sean Stanley, who masters his program every single day, as always, getting it done. Ira Winderman, Alan Poupart, Marcel Louis Jacques. We thank them. We thank all of you, as always, for keeping it locked here and supporting us. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. If you're listening to the podcast, hit the like button. Please subscribe. Subscribe to our new channel, our other channel, Big O Radio Show Cuts, or Big O Show Cuts. You'll find it. Please subscribe. Help us get that one to 1,000. We will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a great one.
You've been listening to the Big O Radio Show's coverage of the Slomans.com NBA Summer League live from Las Vegas. We want to thank our great sponsors for helping us hit the road. Slomans.com, KSDTCPA.com, Hialeah Park Casino, Edge Energy Drink, Craig Zinn Acura of Pembroke Pines, EJDConstruction.com, ALennyLocksmith.com, Perdomo Cigars, the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, Welton Rayom Law Offices, and LiquorSplit.com. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley. Please subscribe to both our YouTube channels, The Big O Radio Show and Big O Radio Show Cuts. Thank you for supporting the most complete platform on the planet covering South Florida sports.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.